Welcome to Video City, where there's no membership required. And what kind of hospital is this? What kind of hospital is this? I'm Brent.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Travis.
And today, it's so good to be back. We'll get to that. We are watching Freejack, the 1992 film starring Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger, Rene Russo, Anthony Hopkins, and a whole fun little cast of critters and characters. Joe, this was your choice. Tell us about Freejack.
So Freejack was on in my house a lot when I was a kid because it would come on USA and TNT all the time. And my dad loved Mick Jagger, and he thought that was the coolest thing that he was in a movie.
Okay.
And it has like a 3D titty bar at one point.
That's true. 3D nudes,
I think all nudes are in
right.
person.
We'll get to that. Yeah, no, I literally have the same note.
Yeah, like,
okay.
That's just called being in person.
But so you get the 3D nudes thing, and Papa Chuck was like, "Let's go."
Yeah,
but it's on TNT, so there's no titty.
There's none.
There's one titty in the movie. At least
there?
I think. We have a titty, is what I had.
Was it a
down.
background one?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they go to like a strip club, and
they pass one.
That's it. There's a titty. There's one. I think it's a lady with one boob out.
Singular.
A singular titty.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would watch it edited, so there'd be nothing.
Right.
But there'd be implied titty.
Yeah, which is kind of hot. Those were the days you just kind of had to make do.
I mean, we didn't have HBO.
Or YouTube. Or
internet.
Yeah, the internet. RedTube.
We did not connect the phone to the wall yet.
Yeah.
With the computer box.
Yeah.
But yeah, we watched it a lot. I don't remember much of it before going into this. All I remembered was one scene specifically where Mick Jagger is talking to Emilio through his tank.
Yes.
And I remembered really liking it, which was flawed.
Okay. Now, a little background info here to the fair listener. So, as I've mentioned, I think in a previous episode, we record these in batches. Freejack was part of the original batch. It was Joe's first singular, his unique choice.
My first pick.
His first pick. We watched it. We did our first session. We ran a little long. So we're like, all right, we're going to come back next time. We're going to do Freejack. In the meantime, my back exploded. We won't get into the whole thing. But we're now recording this much later than we originally intended to. So Joe rewatched Freejack, and we'll get to it, but you just had a bit of a change of heart with how you felt about the movie.
I think the first time the nostalgia got me a lot. Mm-hmm. So I was just really up on this movie. And then I watched it again, and I actually watched it. And that was my first mistake.
Aha, you watched it with a critical eye and not a nostalgic eye. You fool.
I know.
Yeah.
All the little lens was gone, and all I could see was Emilio.
Yeah. And he's
stinking up the place.
Yep. Travis, did you have any memories of this? Have you seen this?
No. I've never heard of this until Joe brought it up.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe it.
Yeah. I know. Well, I do know. So here's the problem: that when it came out in 1992, I was busy watching Emilio Estevez coach the Mighty Ducks to a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Which I never watched as a kid.
Wow.
Have you seen the Mighty Ducks?
I saw it later on, like in my 20s.
Okay.
And I was like, this is a fucking
what about
movie
D3?
Which one has the
Ducks.
fat kid with the knuckle puck? Is that 2?
2 is when they go to the Olympics.
I like 2. 2 is good.
Yeah. I like Air Bud. Anyway.
The fat kid with the knuckle pucks, the longest running SNL cast member.
I like Bad
Kenan
News
Thompson.
Bears.
Oh, it's
too.
Keenan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was that guy that got on meth and like dropped all that weight.
That's Goldberg.
Oh.
The wrestler?
The goalie.
Goldberg.
Okay. I don't remember the Mighty Ducks at all. I remember seeing it in theaters, but
I've seen that movie so many times. So that's what I was doing in 1992. I was not looking at 3D boobies.
You were being 7.
3D,
exactly.
3D nudes.
Well, I guess 6 at this point.
Yeah.
Well, 92, that would have been 7.
But January.
Oh, well,
I would have been 7. Yeah.
I would have been 6.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We're giving up way too personal information. And my social security number is
3.
Is yes. That is my social security number. I too had never seen or heard of this fucking movie.
Y'all did not have nerdy enough dads.
That's very true. My dad, what is the last movie I can remember watching with my dad? Oh, one of the few is actually one of the next movies we're going to review that I remember seeing with my family.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. But anyway, let's hop to it. Freejack, directed by Jeff Murphy and starring Emilio Estevez, Rene Russo, Mick Jagger, and Anthony Hopkins, along with a surprisingly interesting supporting cast. 1992's Freejack is a sci-fi action romp that shows us a vision of the hellish future landscape of America that was 2009. Thanks, Obama. Freejack tells the story of Formula One racer Alex Furlong, played by Estevez, who is transported into the future to serve as essentially a meat puppet for the consciousness of some super wealthy dickhead, played by, well, that's a spoiler, and we'll get to that later. That's the mystery. Estevez escapes and becomes what is called a Freejack, and that's what they call these escaped meat puppets. And he's chased by bonejackers who... You know what? Fuck it. Let's, never mind. Let's just, Rene Russo plays Furlong's girlfriend, Julie. Mick Jagger plays the mercenary Vicendic. And Anthony Hopkins plays nebulous corporate overlord McLandis. The supporting cast includes Jonathan Banks, most recently famously known as Mike Ehrmantraut from AMC's Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. New York Dolls singer David Johansen / Buster Poindexter. And So I Married an Axe Murderer's Amanda Plummer. So... that is kind of the, nuts and bolts of the ordeal. It's kind of funny. There's a little bit of I was able to find some clips of Anthony Hopkins talking about this movie.
Oh, no.
Was it Leno? One of the late night talk shows. And they're kind of flipping through some pictures. And one is him with Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger. And he's like, yes, that was a terrible movie. He's just like completely fucking dismissive.
Not wrong.
Does not want to talk about
We
it.
had just done Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, coming off a banger. What a follow-up to that iconic performance.
So it's like Double Dragon, where he just went from being T2, and then what was his name? Geisman?
Nobody wants to party with Victor Geisman.
Yeah, Victor Geisman.
Yeah, these guys just drop off immediately and just go into shit movies.
Yep. Yeah, they got to just, this is just the money. It's like, okay, I got the fame coming in, but now I can be a little more selective, but I got to keep, the big mansion or whatever.
That was one for them, all right? His next one was one for him.
Yeah, he's got to keep the Ortolan supply coming in, because he's rich and famous and awful now. So, Joe, tell us a little bit about what was going on in the time of Freejack. Not 2009, the time of its release, 1992.
All right, that's easier. So it was released January 17th, 1992. The number one movie that people actually wanted to go see and spend money on was The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Ooh, yeah?
Which I've never seen, but I've heard about it and I've seen it parodied 1,000 times. The number one song, though, Michael Jackson's Black or White.
Oh, one of the lesser ones. Not a fan of Black or White.
What?
Yeah, that's okay.
Video was awesome.
The video was great. Is that the one where everyone's faces are like... Are they morphing into other people, or is it just a bunch of people?
I think it's just a bunch of people.
Okay.
But I also haven't seen it
Just
since
singing.
it was on TV.
I like the morphing idea.
There was a video that did that, but that might be a later music video that I'm trying to think of, where they're kind of like transforming into like, because it's all people, all the the colors of the Benetton rainbow.
It does that at the end.
Yeah, United Colors of Benetton. That's what I was thinking of.
Now on the alternative charts, it's way less fun.
Okay,
it's Mysterious Ways by U2.
I don't even think I know Mysterious Ways.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, it's not one of their bangers.
Okay,
out of their two bangers, this is not one.
What do you consider the two U2 bangers?
I don't know. It's those two off Joshua Tree that sound the exact fucking same.
Do you like Bloody Sunday?
No.
Oh, I love that song.
I don't like Bono to begin with.
Well, yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. I'm not
I mean his voice.
Fucking okay.
What is it though? It's like
the man.
With or Without You, and that sounds exactly like that other one on there.
Okay.
But I haven't listened to it in a long time.
That's fair. Travis, what's your favorite U2 song?
Ooh, about that.
Is it the one where he goes, is it Vertigo?
Oh no.
Hello, hola.
That's all I can think about now is when we talk about U2 is the South Park episode. Well, because that's what he does whenever he busts in on any scene. He goes, hello.
Okay.
And it just, the whole thing is about Randy taking the world's largest shit.
Okay.
Only to come to find out that Bono's pissed because Bono is actually the world's largest piece of shit.
Okay, I got it.
But anytime he enters his room, he goes, hello.
Hola. Do they all say hola? Because they should.
No, they
That'd
don't.
be funny.
Wasted opportunity
Well,
right
it's
there.
South Park. They're fucking hacks. Anyway, glad you're keeping us up to date on that show. Okay. Yeah. So continue, Joe, please.
Okay, well, on CBS tonight, it's the debut episode of mid-season replacement, Tequila and Bonetti. Now, this show is a spin-off adaptation remake
I thought you were just going to say made up.
A spiritual successor.
of Turner and Hooch.
Hell yeah.
But instead of Tom Hanks, we get Bonetti, Nico Bonetti. He's a policeman from New York City and proud Italian who likes to drive around in his rose-colored Cadillac.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I wrote a lot about this, but this show just sounds fucking stupid.
Well, give it to us.
Well,
Who
Tequila,
plays Benetti? Who's the
I
Italian?
didn't.
Is Benetti? I'm guessing that Benetti's the Italian.
He's the Italian. He was not worth mentioning.
It'd be funny if Benetti was the dog and Tequila was the Italian.
Well, Tequila is a
Hey, I'm
large.
Tequila.
He's a large burrito-eating French Mastiff.
Oh, shit, that is a really big dog.
And also, there's a character named Angela Garcia who joined the department after her policeman husband's death, which she kept a secret from her young daughter.
Classic.
Their boss,
How does that work? Where's Dad at? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he died.
he's out.
I'm sure she said he died. Maybe he went out for cigarettes.
Oh.
Their
But it
boss
was Mendoza.
just wants to write screenplays. And one thing that differentiates this from Turner and Hooch is the audience can hear the dog's thoughts.
Oh, fuck.
So they sprinkled in a little bit.
Oh, they did a
of
little bit
Look
of like,
Who's
look
Talking.
who's talking. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Look Who's Talking Now.
Now,
The third one.
2?
No, 2 is 2. That had the 2
Now
babies.
is the third one with
Now
the
is the
dog.
Wait,
third.
the babies were always talking, right? That was the thing
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Look Who's
It was
Talking.
Bruce Willis alone in the first one. Then it was Bruce Willis and Roseanne in the second one.
As the voices of the baby son and daughter.
And then we got the dogs in the third one.
That's
Travolta
that
and
was right.
Kirstie
Look Who's
Alley.
Talking. That's correct. Because now it was the pets.
Now it's the pets. That movie.
That's fucking
stunk.
awful. If you're gonna you can really just watch any movie that like a whimsical animal does a thing. It's always better if they don't talk because animals are
Not
cute and expressive.
true.
Give me a fucking example.
Okay, there was a marathon on one time. I think it was on TBS.
Okay.
And it was Look Who's Talking Now, and then not Turner and Hooch, Milo and Otis.
Milo and Otis. I was about to say, you know what? Fucking Milo and Otis,
which is the
exception
most
to the
long
rule.
drag of a movie ever.
Is it? I have not. We should probably put that on the list. I have
It's
not
just
seen
like-
that since I think I was like 4.
Oh, look, there goes Milo.
Yeah,
He's
there go-
playing in the brush.
But it's a narrator, right?
Yeah.
But are they talking?
They don't talk.
Okay, the animals don't talk. It's just a
It's just
narrator.
a narrator
whimsically
giving them a
narrating.
storyline.
Yeah. Okay, wait. You know what? We should be talking about Freejack, but I'd rather talk about this. So, Homeward Bound.
Yes.
Saddest movie ever.
Very. But did they talk in the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was their thoughts, right?
Yeah, they would talk to each other.
Okay. But it was
They
like
had Michael
ESP.
J. Fox as one of the dogs.
You know what? Fine. I'm going to please forget everything that I just said for the last 15 minutes. It's fine when they talk. It's when they make their mouths move.
Yeah, it's when they peanut butter tongue them.
Yeah, that's when it gets bad. Yeah. Anyway, you ever remember Marley and Me, speaking of pet movies?
So January 1st, the New York City Transit fare raises from $1.15 to $1.25. January 8th, George H.W. Bush gets ill and vomits on the Japanese Prime Minister's lap, which I learned about from Mad Magazine back then.
Yeah. I think I learned about it. Did Dana Carvey do his skit on SNL? I'm assuming on
Must
SNL
have.
something was done.
He probably did something terrible.
I remember that, like, that is a formative memory. Like, that's early. It's that and, like,
It's not often a president barfs on someone.
on another head of state.
Oh, anyone.
Or anyone, much less. You know
See,
what?
I've pulled that same move, too, to a friend of mine.
You puked on someone's lap?
Yeah. Well, I let him know it was coming. And fortunately, it was in the back of a truck, so there wasn't really anywhere to go.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm so sorry. And they go, why?
Just wait for
It's
it.
so warm. And I was like,
Oh, no. Come on, man.
All right, we cannot get into barfing in the back of truck stories.
Well, I had one to add, but it's fine. Okay, we'll move on. Maybe for another day. So,
Well, January 13th, American serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer pleads guilty but insane.
okay.
And on January 28th, Michael Jordan leads the Chicago Bulls to a loss against the San Antonio Spurs.
Against the Spurs?
Yep, against the Spurs.
Especially like the 90s Spurs. Were they good?
Early 90s Spurs. But it was a close game. It was
Okay.
104 to 109.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Rook sounds exciting.
And that's pretty much January of 1992.
Well, now that we're all cut up, I guess it's time to dive in to Freejack.
Time to get jacking.
Time to get jacked. All right.
bone jacked.
So would you rather be a free jack or a bone jacker?
It always seems to be funner to be the free jack, although you
I love
probably
to
die.
jack my bone.
I highly doubt there's a lot of free jacks running
Wow.
around. Just
Yeah.
these particular scientists, they weren't ready for the
Ah.
likes of
I can see there being more
Alex
just like
Furlow.
lower quality ones that don't have quite the big bounty. I can see them escaping.
Lesser Freejacks?
Yeah.
that aren't just Emilio Estevez
We never
yelling
see
at
one.
people?
You think this kind of movie would like
He'd
end
run
up
into
where
a
he gets
second
the
Freejack?
rebel, like the Freejack
Or there's
hive,
the
Oh, yeah.
island, the
Yeah.
island of the Freejacks.
Yeah, but there's no implication there's any other Freejack. So nice little kind of opening segment here. It's just like kind of a weird landscape with clouds in the background. It has nothing really to do.
No, it's just one of
with
those
the
good
movie.
80s sci-fi movie openings.
Yeah, we have this slanted kind of It looks like the fucking Metal Gear Solid
Yep.
text thing or font. That's what I'm looking for. We get the supporting cast. How did I forget to mention Grand Bush? And when I saw this, I was like, that's a name. Grand Bush, though, first off, fantastic in this movie. We'll get to him when he appears. But better known maybe to people of our generation as the Street Fighter real live-action Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, Balrog, the boxer.
So who did he play in this?
He plays he's the bodyguard. He's like the...
Boone?
Yeah, he plays Boone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Boone. I thought he was great in this. I thought the little bit that he's on, he's a real
He's
treat.
always carrying a sword.
I do like
being
how he
real
goes from
intimidating.
like background character that no one cares about to suddenly just has all the lines
Yeah.
in that one face off.
Oh yeah, like he gets like all the witty one-liners and all that stuff. Yeah, he's fucking fantastic. So we get these over this kind of smoky background. We start to see these vehicles kind of approach. This is the hellscape that was 2009. The Affordable Care Act has just passed Congress, and just like my uncle said it would, America's gone to shit. Roving gangs of people trying to take bodies and organs. Just, we get this kind of, it's a teaser of what's to come, and we flash back to Emilio Estevez's fucking
Butt?
thumper in bed like that. He got a fucking dumper on him.
Here comes girlfriend or annoying older sister to come in to bother him.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Here's Renee Russo. Great. I definitely should have made notes about what else she's been in because it's a lot of better movies than this. This bedroom is a fucking early 90s nightmare.
These two have the least on-screen chemistry I've ever seen.
You say that, Joe, but consider that Emilio Estevez's chemistry with everyone in this movie is the worst chemistry that I've ever seen. But I guess with Renee Russo, it's even worse.
Well, they're supposed to have some.
Yeah, they fucking
Kinda.
Well, it's implied. We'll get okay. So we flash back to the future. So now we see Mick Jagger with this Spaceballs ass helmet on.
That way you know it's the future.
That's how we know it's the future because the futuristic helmet. We cut back, and this is, I gotta say, a little ahead of its time because Emilio Estevez's character is a Formula One racer, and that's like the shit right now. Are kids still into F1?
It's made that resurgence, especially with the Netflix series that's come out a couple years ago.
Is that what it was? Okay, I got a buddy who's like, he's got the fucking...
people have gotten wildly into F1 over the last couple years.
I had no idea.
I've like always seen F1 cars.
This isn't even real F1. This is like bootleg street F1 racing. Like,
so it's the Tokyo Drift Fast and Furious
this is
of F1.
this is F1 Tokyo Drift. This is movie 3.
So he's like, Emilio Estevez's character, Furlong, Alex Furlong. He apparently just whips ass. We don't see anyone else really driving against him. He's so ahead. He just clears this. Renee Russo comes up and hugs him.
His much taller girlfriend.
Well,
well, depending on the scene.
Yeah, so right now, when they walk next to each other, she's towering over him.
Yeah,
and then when they stop to speak to one another, he's magically
right
4
near
inches
the next
taller than
shot.
her.
He's definitely taller than her.
Yeah, he's either on lifts or it's forced perspective, but he looks a good 3 inches taller now.
They called in fucking Peter Jackson to do what he did with the Hobbits and Lord of the Rings, like the forced perspective thing there. Renee Russo is actually 20 feet further in the frame. He's like, Furlong's whole deal is he's like wow, I'm cool, I'm a race car driver, I got all these cool one-liners. Emilio Estevez cannot read a fucking line to save his life.
None of the one-liners are good. He's so awkward. Oh, I think we just had the first nibble my ear.
We had the first nibble my ear, which was going to be the other alternate opening line for this.
But it's too gross.
Nibble his ear for luck, That's a hot thing. So we keep we see now that in the future, Mick Jagger and his Jaggernauts have made it to the same racetrack that we just saw Alex racing on. So we go, this is the future. I kind of get what we're getting into here. If you had not heard my wonderful rundown synopsis of the plot, you'd be like, what's going on here? Ah, it's the future.
All right. What the fuck was that show called?
Oh, yeah. Which one?
The one with McJaggernuts.
Oh, that was a Flight of the Conchords.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can hear the song.
I'm
Bowie's in
jamming
space.
out with the McJaggernuts. Yeah, the Bowie's in space.
I guess context would have been nice there.
Yeah.
All right, so this scene, Emilio is meeting his scummy agent, Brad, who's played by Johansson. He's introducing him to some, reps from companies that want to sponsor him for stuff. He immediately blows them off like, I'm too cool for reps, while wearing his jacket covered in fucking patches from companies.
Looking like a modern UFC fighter, just
Yeah.
like slapped with all these fucking logos.
Like anyone with a logo, it's on his jacket.
Yeah, we have Miller Lite in the
Oh,
background.
it's MGD. You get
Oh, Miller Genuine the champagne
Yes.
of beers. Probably Condom Depot. That's a real throwback for old UFC fans. Yeah, we go back. We know it's the future also because when Jagger puts his visor down on his Spaceballs helmet, it's like green, kind of augmented virtual reality kind of
like
deal.
just vertices everywhere.
Yeah, little vertices, parallaxes.
Ooh.
Parallaxes, perhaps.
Paralyzes.
No, well, that's going to happen here to Alex in a bit. So we get to Alex is about to start a race, and it's not a particularly dangerous looking race. But in the future, we hear, no, we've got to, this is where it happens.
Yeah.
And we get shots.
Fucking Bob from La Bamba is sitting there telling him. I popped so hard for
He
that.
was in
He's the one that's like,
Fuck. That's another movie we got to watch. Holy
I
shit.
got so happy when I saw Bob.
That rules. So they're clipping, kind of focusing on this shot of a fucking F1 car just in midair.
Somehow it launches like 16 feet
Yeah,
up.
about to just smash into a fucking
Just overpass.
overpass. Yeah, and it's like, I've seen like F1 crashes, but they're usually like spin out, tumble type things. We get a great shot of his body. They're trying to jack into his body, and they kind of zoom into this little computer thing of this little fucking Virtua Fighter on Sega, like polygon
no
looking ass
details,
driver.
pointy feet.
Yeah, well, his feet are forward because
His legs just end in points.
Well, what you don't know about F1 is you've got to fucking plie the whole, en pointe the whole time when you're pressing those pedals. Oh, we're never gonna get through this. It's way too good.
But one thing I really do like about this is how they don't explain what's happening. That's really rare for its time. They don't go into the deep, like, now in the future, we're going to steal this body so we can give it to someone else, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, Jagger does not go like, we've got to
it's just
this
like,
body to this guy.
Let's get him.
Let's get him. I'm absolutely going to butcher Jagger's
Not as
accent.
bad as Emilio does later.
That's true. Yeah.
He goes full Schwarzenegger on it. But the thing is, I just don't understand how his car gets launched so high to where he just has to explode into an overpass.
Here's the
He
bigger
clips
problem.
a wheel of a driver in front of him. So
Which
one wheel
Launches him?
Yeah, which, okay, I'm no physicist. I'm just a simple country lawyer. But, like, one wheel hits the other guy's wheel, and instead of it spinning him out, or you would think maybe go to the left, it's just fucking
Just
boing,
vertical.
like just straight, like he hits a
So
ramp.
one wheel's going very fast, and then you have a second wheel going very fast. If you have two fast wheels going fast, it makes you go extra fast.
It makes you fly.
yes.
So that's how he flew.
It's like
Now-
a booster in F-Zero.
Exactly.
You know?
So here's the problem. You're on an F1 track. Why in the fuck is there an overpass?
Right.
Who's driving over the track
Right, where is
mid-race?
this? What this
That's
is.
what I'm telling you. This is bootleg F1.
Yeah.
This is what this is they retrofitted a fucking go-kart course. And they're like, let's
Yeah.
put some
This is
F1s
down by
in
the
there.
airport, and, cars need to use it.
Yeah.
If you look real close, you see the putt-putt court in the background.
We do get a fantastic fucking explosion.
good explosion.
when that car hits.
No, the explosions in this movie are great.
Real good. Yeah. We gotta say, the effects for the most part are decent.
As long as they're not doing blue screen, they look really good.
Yeah. The blue/green, whatever. Yeah. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, this would have been, I think blue is back when it was all film, and then green was digital.
Green was digital? Really?
Yeah.
Today I learned. That's awesome.
Hey, there you go.
So we get to,
Watch me be fucking wrong as hell. But I said it confidently.
it's good that we're doing this in early episodes, so most people won't go back to get mad at us if we ever develop a following. So we flash forward, and wow, you would think that Emilio Estevez was vaporized and turned into, goo. But now he's in the back of this really weird tank with guys wearing microwave suits. These are just sauna suits.
Yeah.
Like that's what
They're
it
like
is.
the emergency blankets.
They're trying to
that
look
the authorities
like
get.
they're trying to give that clean room effect, but instead of wearing all white, they're just wearing sauna suits.
It's just this is future scrubs.
Just
Mylar
reflective.
scrubs.
But
Yeah.
because instead of just like blue scrubs that you see at like every fucking hospital, this is the future, so they're shiny.
That makes sense.
Yeah, kind of.
Shiny, future shiny.
Future shiny.
Oh,
Future is shiny.
So then they saran wrap him.
Right, you got to put the cling wrap on.
And then they just go on their way. But this is when shit gets real. So they pull out their lobotomy laser shooter.
They're just gonna drill a hole in his head, but then we have kind of like the counter insurgency.
And that was when he yells, "What kind of hospital is this?"
That's right. What kind of hospital is this? Great line read. Fantastic.
Emilio's top notch.
He's a fantastic actor. How many Oscars has he won?
None.
Go. Wow. Not even the
So,
lifetime.
so do we ever find out who leads this counterinsurgency that's helping him?
No.
I think it's just like everything's so violent in the future. People, just that looks like a valuable caravan.
That was an army of people on these buildings that are very much willing to die to fight these bone jackers.
No, it's the future. It's a rough place. People because if you steal the Freejack, you get the money for it. I assume.
like a bounty.
Oh yeah, they do have a reward out for
So
them.
they're trying to free the Freejack to then turn the Freejack in.
Or
and
maybe
get the
these
bounty.
people hate bone jackers and they're trying to free the Freejack.
I hate a bone jacker.
Maybe they're a Freejack
No, you
liberation front.
I hate those who jack bones. Maybe so. I don't know. I would think
They
it'd be
don't-
cool if
they
they
don't
were a
tell
freedom
us.
movement. Yeah, there's no thing. But they come after him. We've got a bazooka like very, very early on in here. People loved fucking bazookas in the 90s. But so now Emilio's trying to escape. He finds this fucking kitted out taxi, a battle taxi, a crazy taxi, if you will.
Ooh, for Dreamcast.
And the driver immediately points a fucking gun at him. And Emilio's like, hey, I'm just trying to get to this one place. And for some reason, the guy starts driving, but then he just goes, I kill you. It's like, all right, man. Like, what? There's no explanation.
No, he hears the announcements that they're trying to get the Freejack.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so he's like, Freejack! And then just starts shooting.
Oh, and he just turns around. He's like, I kill you. And
Yep.
then okay.
And then Emilio's just, I'm going to get out. This is my acting level.
I thought they were already kind of announcing what it was, so the cabbie just doesn't care. And then because we're in the bad
Cappy just
future,
steals his watch, drives him around the corner, and
he's
kicks
just
him
like,
out.
I kill you. Like, okay, man, cool.
Because it's like the Back to the Future 2 Biff Trump future.
It's
that
also
we're in
New
right now.
York,
That's true.
yeah.
It's rough.
Everyone was scared of New York.
2009 was a rough time.
That's true. I think it was a fine time in New York.
I don't know. We were rolling cigarettes in a dirty house.
That's very true.
I think I was in New York in 2009.
So my note
That's when
says,
I watched the kids walk through the street drunk on a Tuesday afternoon, 14-year-olds screaming Linkin Park lyrics.
oh, that's the life. Things were good back then.
They started to hump cars and windows and pass out in the middle of the street.
When was this?
2009, New York City.
Hell yeah, dude. So he's trying to get to his friend's house, his apartment. He's going
He
to his-
goes to
he goes to Julie's apartment.
Julie's
Julie's original apartment. Another family's there. They're like, "You're a free jacker. You got to get the hell out of here."
They're like, Julie Redden, she sold us this house years ago.
Yeah, it's cool that they happen to know who she is,
And he's
Like, that's
also not
convenient.
aware that he's 18 years in the future.
Right.
He just thinks he woke up from
And
God
this
knows
is
what.
In one
also
day, everything
extremely Back
changed.
to the Future too.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
When Marty McFly goes to Jennifer's house in the dark future, and there's a different family in there, and they
That's
also
right.
pull a shotgun on him.
They do.
Yep, they just straight stole this whole part.
I mean, now that's the world that we live in. But now we see finally as he escapes, he's back on the streets. He looks toward the city and he sees a holographic thing, holographic display. That's how you know it's the future. Welcome to New York, Thursday, November 23rd, 2009.
Bum.
Bum, bum,
Do
bum.
we know how accurate that was? If November 23rd
It was
actually
in
on a Thursday?
1992.
No, but in 2009 was November 23rd a Thursday.
Ooh.
That's a good one. I didn't check.
Because you theoretically could look that up. It wouldn't be that hard.
It was a Monday.
Those lazy fucks.
So, all right, as it turns out, November 23rd, 2009 was a fucking Monday.
Fucking losers.
Zero.
Lazy bastards.
0 out of 10. Immersion ruined.
So
Fuck
you're
this
going to
movie.
drop the money for Anthony Hopkins and not look up what day of the week something is.
It's literally it's just going to be what it is. It doesn't like, it's not like, oh, back then it might have been a different day.
No.
Like, we know how the
They were
calendar
like, you know what?
works.
November 23rd sounds kind of Thursday.
It's Thursday. It's got a Thursday vibe.
It's kind of like a Thanksgiving thing going.
You know, when everyone was at work on the actual November 23rd, 2009, they're like, it's just a Monday, but I feel like it should already be the weekend coming up.
Well, think about it this way. If it was Thursday, then it would be Thanksgiving.
This Monday
'Cause
is
it's-
really serving Thursday.
Serving heavy Thursday vibes. Oh shit! Something popped up on my screen. Oh no, the movie. So we see this this shot with Mike Ehrmantraut with fucking his Jonathan Banks in the
Like,
in
what's
this
his shoot
elevator.
name?
What's his shoot name? That is work name. He's with another executive. They're in a very tall tower in the back. First off, great blue screen
Yeah, this effect is
effects
good.
here. No, I was being sarcastic. It's okay.
It looks
gets
way better
worse.
than the later
Yes.
ones.
It gets worse.
It gets so much worse.
But of course, the best thing that always seems to happen in these movies is we get a nice clear shot of the Twin Towers in the background. So this is a different timeline. This is not our 2009. It's just confirming it. Anyway.
That's why the dates are different. That's why it's a different day.
You fucking did it.
So maybe they really did do the research just in an alternate timeline.
The sorry sacks of shit. They tried to get us. They tried. We figured them out.
We figured it out. In this one, it was thwarted. So Mike Ehrmantraut goes and talks to a hooded figure, and we see it is a holographic Emilio Estevez. What's going on in this world?
Oh, it's so bad. Now, one thing I miss from this time period, if you will, bad guys that look like Jonathan Banks.
You miss that kind of character actor? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
where it's just like he's always receding hairline, balding,
Yeah.
scruffy.
Yeah, kind of
Like
a
Miguel,
hard face.
Miguel Ferrer,
Yeah.
which was like the king of that look.
Mm.
I wish they'd bring that back.
So we have a meeting here between Mick Jagger and Jonathan
Bob?
Banks.
Oh no, not
Yeah.
Bob yet.
He's sending him on a mission to find the Freejack, to find Alex Furlong.
Yeah, to fix his mistake.
Yeah, because he fucked it up. Because he and his McJaggernauts did not do a great job.
Now they created a Freejack.
And the other thing that extremely severely dates this movie is everyone's interest in this Fabergé egg that's on his table.
Is everyone just touching it? I
Well,
somehow missed this.
Jagger picks it up and like, oh, Fabergé. And then he throws it at him at the end and he smashes it and gets mad.
Okay. Well, I mean, Fabergé eggs are fucking expensive.
Yeah, and
if
they
they're
used to
actual
be
Fabergé.
talked about a lot on the news in the early 90s, and then they just kind of no one cares anymore.
They did here at the Houston Museum of Natural Science. They actually had a Fabergé
Yeah.
egg installation.
Like,
or
they were the
whatever.
talk of the town in the 90s.
It's just a glass egg, right?
But there's only a very few made.
Okay.
There's
And
diamonds
they were
and
made
rubies.
in Russia at the turn of the century.
By a person named Fabergé.
Yes,
I would assume.
they were Fabergé's eggs.
Right. If they have to be from the Fabergé region of France. Otherwise, they're just sparkling
Sparkling white egg.
Is it like a Stradivarius kind of thing, or it's just a master craftsman makes like a limited amount
That's-
of these
From
things?
what I
Mainly it's
understand,
just
yeah.
limited amount and covered with jewels.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, the jewels are also probably a big part of it. So we see Amanda Plummer. I popped. God bless her.
Oh, she's the best.
She's fantastic in her limited time in this movie as
Every
a
scene
fucking
she's in is
strapped
great.
up nun.
Yeah, shotgun nun rules.
Everyone here packs. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's very obvious, and even in the next scene, it's even more obvious that this is like a hellscape where everyone it's just open violence all the fucking time. But Amanda Plummer's nun meets Emilio Estevez. She's like, the fuck's going on here? He's like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. She kind of gives him the here and there, kind of gives him a thing like, you got to keep safe, blah, blah, blah. You need to be armed out there. She ends up giving him a fucking handgun as he kind of continues on his way.
Like nuns are known to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to help, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Helpful sisters. Speaking of nuns, have y'all seen Mrs. Davis on,
I don't know what that is.
it's a show on,
Is it the nun on the motorcycle
yeah.
looking thing? I
Hey,
started
played by
watching
her name escapes me, but she was in Glow in the TV.
Which character was she on Glow?
She was like the main one, the blonde lady.
Oh, Liberty Bell.
I think so. Yeah. I forget the actress's
Yeah,
name.
I just know Liberty Bell.
But she's in it. She's fucking great. Like it's a really good little show.
I'm so sad they canceled Glow.
Are you?
I really liked it.
I thought the second season was okay.
I never watched the third, so maybe that's why I still like it a lot.
Okay.
But season 1 and 2 were good.
They made a third season?
Yeah.
Well, golly gosh.
And they were working on a fourth when
then it shut down.
when the panty started.
Yeah. And
Killed
then it was
it.
just over. Have you watched Heels?
No.
Me neither. I refuse to support CM Punk.
I was just like,
Just kidding. I'm a Dynamite guy, you know.
I'm a collider.
I'm a ride or die elite head, you know. So, fuck, man, this movie just keeps going. If we were like playing at 2 times speed, I'm like, all right, like let's get the story going. You know,
Bamba
Jagger,
Bob shows up.
One thing I will
La
say,
Bamba Bob is
Jagger's
there.
awesome.
Jagger's fucking incredible.
Like, he's so good at this role.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Bob's good. I don't know what Bob's real name is or his character's name, but he's Bob.
La Bamba Bob.
So here, Jagger is trying to test his new system to see if people are lying because he thinks he has a mole in his group. So he tested on La Bamba Bob without telling him, so La Bamba Bob just thinks that he's going against him.
that's right. Yeah, and it's like, aha, but I am the clever... He's not McClandis.
No, he's Vicendic.
Vicendic.
He's like, I was just testing it.
Just testing you. You passed, whatever. And he doesn't kill him.
With hands on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Doing the little peacock.
Doing his little peacocky Jagger thing.
I wish
you
he
know?
did that in this movie.
And then he just kind of does his, like, you know, purses his lips and starts to strut.
Yeah, he doesn't strike
and then
a
just starts
pose
singing
once.
Satisfaction.
No, he actually acts. He doesn't Jagger at all in this.
God, what a loser.
He's,
God.
but you know what?
He's really good.
What other movies has Jagger been in?
I don't think he was in much, which is a shame.
Yeah, he was in that one, that documentary. He was in Gimme Shelter.
What's a documentary?
about the Rolling Stones, where he played Mick Jagger.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was really good in that.
he was really authentic performance.
So we're back at the church, and Amanda Plummer's doing the info dump, just explaining the whole plot up to this point.
Right.
For anyone who was zoned out, because this movie's long and boring.
So you're telling me you were a race car driver who got in a wreck and was transported in the future? Yeah, and she gives him a gun. I mentioned that before, but she gives him a pistol.
And he looks at it like, I can't act.
Because when
And
you're
then he
here,
leaves.
I got to keep that thing. You got to keep that thing on you. And now we enter a really just. This is world building.
The streets of New York.
He's
Now,
back in the
down
streets
and dirty
of New
I
York.
think they did good with this because you don't see a lot of like colorful clothes, big
Right.
hairs. It's not dated looking like most futures. There's the titties,
we get the titty theater, 3D nudes, triple
which
X.
is just nudes in person.
Yeah, which is just that's how nudity works in person because we're all 3D.
That's how
turns
our
out.
eyes work.
That's how our eyes work. That's how matter works. I also think that's very good too because you know this isn't actually like a cyberpunk future. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of a cyberpunk idea, like the putting your consciousness into another person's body, but it's not like a Blade Runner.
Yeah, it's not to where the technology is extended to the poor.
Right, exactly.
It's just the poor are just poor.
It's just the fucking slums.
They eat garbage. They drink death. They are all diseased.
Yeah, it's just the Bowery has become the entirety of Manhattan, it looks like. You know,
Yeah.
Skid Row is kind of expanded. Skid Row's in LA.
That's L.A.
yeah.
In New
But
York,
there
it's
is the
just called
Bowery.
the rest of New York.
Yes. Only New York, baby. Greatest city in the world. So, as Alex is walking, this is not a gunfight breaks out, but it is unrelated to him.
Yeah,
Some
just
guy just grabs him,
casual
uses him as a
gunfights in New
shield, and
York.
shoots at someone.
And we have a kind of war going on, and we see the most
Confused.
confusing character, which is a black man with a
almost a pith helmet looking thing on.
like
Without the spike.
with no spikes, not like a Kaiser, like a pith helmet, but it has a swastika on it.
Well, it has a Confederate flag on it, and in the middle of the Confederate
That's right.
flag is a swastika.
is a swastika. So he's like he's like an extra Nazi. He's a super Nazi,
Turbo Nazi.
black guy shooting in the streets, and he's shooting a guy who looks like he would be in like Superfly. He has like the kind of like Black Panther beret and like the little shades on or whatever. So time is weird here. Time is the fashion sense of 2009, which tracks. It was a weird time for us all, you know.
It really was.
It was the end of history. We just kind of all looked the same.
Oh, we had like the end of Scene Kids then.
Yeah, Scene Kids.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, 09. I mean, when did Scene Kids peak?
Scene Kids peaked in like the mid 2000s. Then we had like the RAR people after that.
the RAR people?
The RAR or RAWR.
RAR.
Like those people that got on MySpace after we all left MySpace.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
So
what
it's like
you're talking
teenage girls and like groomer dudes. Basically.
about. Well, yeah.
Also known as like pop punk bands.
Pop punk fans. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So it's just pop punk got really hot then. I guess it kind of
so.
did.
Yeah.
Kind of blew
It
up.
came back.
So now
Alex is
Estevez,
looking.
Alex. I should just call him Alex. It's so much easier than trying to get Furlong. He goes and meets his agent. The guy from the New York Dolls. He lives in what looks like a squalid apartment in this shitty little rundown building. But it was a trick. There's a secret.
It's Bender's apartment from Futurama.
Fuck, I wish I knew that reference. I've watched
So
Futurama.
Bender lives in a closet.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, you walk in, it's a 2x2 closet. He's a robot.
Right.
He just stands there.
and he
stands
shares
there.
it with Fry.
Then he actually shows Fry his closet, which is a penthouse multi-million-dollar apartment.
Okay. I remember that. Yeah, now I remember that guy.
It's like that, but it still looks poor on the other side in this one.
Yeah. It still looks poor, but he's got nice things.
Yeah, he's like, I have a couch.
It's unclear.
Here's a Porsche hubcap.
Do you remember Porsches? It's like, yeah, but there's no lights on in any of this place. I don't know if he has electricity and just chooses not to use it, because we're just going by sunlight here. But so the whole deal with Bob, right? That's his name, or
Brad.
Brad's whole thing. Bob. No, that's La Bamba Bob.
That's La Bamba
and
Bob.
Brad. So Brad is he's supporting his friend here. He's kind of being like, I'll help you out. Here's what's going on, and he seems to be kind of coordinating with Emilio to get him, kind of reunite him with his love and get him out of this whole deal about being a Freejack. But
And this is also where we get into our first real explanation of how bad, like, the pollution has gotten.
yeah, I guess
Because
that's.
He asks them, why don't they just use people from now for bodies instead of taking them from the past?
That's
and
right.
Brad's like, they've lived half their lives with no ozone layer, sucking up mega doses of carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, mercury, lead, benzene, and nuclear waste.
There we go.
Yep.
That was great.
Amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, I guess that's actually very important. This is where you find out what the fucking reason behind this movie
Yeah.
is, right? Because it's just like, why? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the important what the fuck is going on. I can comprehend a Freejack in terms of putting a consciousness into another body. Sure, easy. That's like grade school shit.
Of course.
But why do
But
they
why
need to
time
come-
travel?
Why time travel from 92? And it's because...
Which leads me into the thing I hate the most about all time travel movies. Why didn't they just immediately time travel back and get them a little earlier then?
Right. Well, actually, no, that's the reason, because then it's a bootstrap, you would create a paradox. Because because now you've created, oh fuck, really? Are we
Well,
doing
how about
this?
this? How about
You've
this?
created a new closed time loop where it's like basically he always was taken from that point, and so he's always existed at this point in the future.
So why don't they just go back to when he escaped from them and
Because
grab them?
then he would never be there the first time
No,
they
no.
did it.
Once he's there,
Uh-huh.
like once he's there and he escapes from them, why not just
Right.
immediately just zoink?
Oh, you're saying...
Like go back 20
Why
minutes.
did they rejack him?
Right.
In the future.
No, I get what you're saying. But then it's like, so then if they rejacked him in the past, if they went 20 seconds earlier...
No, not in the past, in the future.
Well, I guess it's still the past, even if it's 20 seconds.
But like, if they
so you're saying
went,
in 2009...
Yeah, in
it'll last
2009.
24
Just be like,
seconds.
Yeah.
once he whoops is out of there.
But the problem there is still then, but if you whoops him and you catch him then the one that was actually escaped never existed, so you would never need to go back to jack him earlier in the past. Do you see what I'm saying?
well, what
It
if you
creates
don't
a
jack him
paradox.
earlier in the past? What if you just jack him?
So I bring...
At the present. If you
as
can-
as
if
you
you
can
can
see on this
transform bodies.
chalkboard...
I'm not mature enough for this.
This is gonna be a 2.5 hour episode where I just get into like, no, you fool! If you
No,
look
if you're
at the
gonna jack
timeline-
him, you gotta jack him right then, because if you jack him
Right.
later, he won't be there to jack.
yeah, exactly. You can't. Yeah, it's too late at that point.
Yeah.
He's been.
He doesn't
jacked.
have that
He
kind
needs
of
time to
stamina.
recover. You don't go back earlier and start jacking again. Anyway, we move on. So we see that Julie, right, the
Yep,
girlfriend,
Julie.
she's part of this like mega corporation. Now, look, okay, I want to touch upon a couple things you said. First off, fucking put it on the bingo board. We have pollution.
Yep.
Big concern in all 90s movies. We gotta have pollution, whether present day or especially in the future. The ozone hole was a big deal, Benzene, sure. I remember a joke about benzene from The Simpsons. Maybe we had just kind of found out that benzene was like a harmful chemical. Who the fuck knows? And in this scene where we see Julie as like the cutthroat executive lady, hardened by the death of her former beau, we also see she's talking to a Japanese corporation. So put that up there too. Japanese corporations and Japanese, salarymen, corporate looking guys, always in fucking 90s movies. I think we've had it in at least one other, and we got like another one coming up pretty
Oh,
soon.
yeah, we do.
It just always happens. So they're doing, evil futuristic corporation shit.
Then after she leaves is when we see Anthony Hopkins for the first
The
time.
first time Look, big Tony. Big Tony Hops.
We get that big reveal. He's up on the screen because he doesn't want to be there either.
He does not want to be around. He doesn't want to be in this movie. And his character, apropos, does not want to be at this meeting. Hopkins appears on and he's talking to Julie. You know, she seems to be a trusted advisor of his. They seem close.
She's really come a long way from back when Emilio would just shit on her for using a computer in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, did we ever get in the opening scene, was it ever touched on like what she does?
I think she was a journalist, maybe.
A journalist. Okay, so now it's like she totally just...
Because she just had to type a lot, and he'd be like, "You still using your typewriter? Huh? I fucking suck.
Nibble my ear for luck. I'm Emilio Estevez.
Hey, sis.
I like to act.
You wanna kiss and stuff?"
So what? Okay, so is the sister... Is the sister thing because, like, the chemistry level?
Yeah, if you watch them act, like, they just bully and annoy each other.
Right. Yeah. It seems like
It
a little
seems
There's
like-
no romance.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so startling the first time he's like, "Oh yeah, nibble my ear
Okay.
for luck."
Because it could be a sister, and then all of a sudden it's like, it gets real horny.
Well, he does.
He does. Well, I mean...
His words do. His face is still just saying, like, "I wish I had a sandwich."
I wish I was still in the Mighty Ducks. I wish I still had a career.
And here's where he wears the hat that makes him look like an Oliver Twist extra.
Yeah. He's
Which
like,
is great.
"Hello, going to the gruel counter, getting me some gruel." He has almost fights with a guy in a... I love that guy, by the way. And he gets a short stick in this... Or short end of the stick, right? That's the fucking saying. I'm intelligent. So, he meets with Brad in this little diner. And what we find out is this motherfucker, Brad, he turned on him.
Old backstabbing Brad.
Backstabbing Brad. That's his name. That's what people call him. But you know what? New York Dolls, more like New York Dead, because he gets shot on the fucking ground. Got his ass.
So on the way here, they also pass a movie theater. And I just want to read you some of the titles of these movies.
Now, is this the 3D Nudes Theater?
No, this is not. This is the Roxy Theater.
Oh, the Roxy. Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's a classy place.
Classic New York landmark.
So the first movie is called Checks in the Mail.
Okay.
And that's Czechs like Czechoslovakian people at the time.
Oh, Czechs.
And male as in not female.
Ah.
Oh.
Checks in the Mail.
Okay.
And then the
I see what
second
we're
one
doing.
is called Go Down Moses.
All right.
Is
So
it a
they
biblical
ran
film?
out of clever with the first one,
Uh-huh.
and they just went for it.
Well, that's a song, right? Like, isn't that a hymnal?
You're
Go Down
asking the
Moses.
wrong crowd.
I mean, me too.
Moses going down the mountain from getting the 10 Commandments. I assumed it was a biblical film. Like, go down, Moses.
Yeah.
And spread the 10 Commandments to the
Or
world.
go down Moses to the Red Sea and go part it. I'm pretty sure Go Down Moses is a hymn. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, folks.
I don't want to try and guess what the go down Moses.
You're right. There's a version of it that's completely correct.
Somebody said that before. I'm not the first.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And also, one thing I want to touch on in this diner scene, when he pulls the gun out, or the random guy at the diner pulls the gun out, he has like the one good heavy line in this whole movie.
Which is?
"If you keep looking at me, you'll see me kill you." Which is so much better than every other bad guy
That's
line
pretty
in this
fucking.
movie.
That's pretty fucking ball. Like that's some heavy shit.
Like, that's good.
Yeah, but then Emilio pulls his heat, and it's like, all right.
He's like,
kinda-
"I also have a gun."
It's an impasse, a detente. I don't know.
They're at a detente.
So they chase him through, and one thing I want to go here is that guy who also is the guy that kills Brad.
Yeah.
Like the guy in the other, who you watch me kill you, he's the one that shoots Brad. But then he like just wants to sit down and eat his fucking food, and he gets like knocked out of his chair at one point, and his food spills. This guy just can't catch a fucking break.
And it's his food he didn't want in the first place.
Yeah, it wasn't
Because he's
right.
like, "I waited 20 minutes for this shit."
Exactly.
And it did look like just garbage.
Yeah, it was hot trash.
Only in New York, baby. I'm walking here. So Alex breaks out, and then he goes, he busts through the kitchen, and this is my shit that I worked 10 fucking years in restaurants in the service industry. Their fire catches because he like knocks one of the little like pans akimbo on the fucking burner, and it starts a grease fire, and some dipshit just comes and pours water on the grease fire.
Oh, no,
You fucking idiot! It's not how it works, folks.
So that place is going to burn to the ground
Yeah,
now.
it's done. It's dead.
It's just done.
It's just match the rest of New York
and I think
decor.
we need to touch on the fact that no one with a laser rifle has ever hit a damn thing with his laser rifle.
Nope. It's like
In any movie.
Most inaccurate weapon.
They have a
in
firing
all of
squad
cinema.
lined up at him while he's on this slow-ass motorcycle. They all miss.
Yep. They're all stormtroopers.
I don't get it. Why do
But they are
use
future
these
cops.
inefficient
I do
rifles?
like how future their bikes look. Like they got the newest Kawasaki's and
They have
fucking-
new polygons on them.
Yeah, kitting them out. Yeah, they're very jagged. You
Yep.
know, straight out of the Sega Saturn. Here comes this
Like
fucking.
these are some N64 geometric bikes.
Yeah, and this. You know what? This was before the Nintendo 64, so it's truly the future.
I don't think that's true.
92.
Oh, I thought
that was Super Nintendo.
I was so into this great movie. I thought it was 2009.
Oh, that's well. Now it's outdated. Maybe in this future, that Nintendo was like, hell, the PlayStation lost and Nintendo won, so we're still fucking polygons.
Oh, and we have our little PlayStation Switch that just has like 720p on it.
Yeah.
So this is now when he finally gets out on the street and is running around. We find out that every car in the future looks like a goddamn bug.
Yeah.
They're just bugs. Bugs or butt plugs. I don't know.
It's the weird. This
Why
is the
not
weird
both?
mid-range budget future movie where it's like we can get away with some of it looking futuristic, but like,
But really, we're just putting plastic molds over regular cars.
yeah, like the fucking '92 Camry or whatever.
Like this is an old Nissan. We're gonna put a box on it.
yeah, but it's future now.
Future box.
Future box. Yeah, less aerodynamic. So now we have a scene where. Alex and Julie, he meets Julie in her new apartment. She's big baller, so it's this, penthouse type of thing. Gets a little weird. He kind of pins her down, but he pins her down to let him know, I am Alex and I still love you. A funny line, I don't remember if it's right here or maybe a little later. It's definitely later, but when she says, I don't care because I really don't give a shit about how much time is left in this movie, she makes a comment where she's like, I'm older now. Like I'm 18 years older. She looks
The exact
Exactly.
fucking same.
She is
They
not
didn't
aged
even
a day.
put like the forehead line
No,
makeup on.
They gave her nothing.
No.
Renee Russo looks exactly.
She just
the
got her
same.
hair done.
Yeah,
that's
she's,
it.
Yeah, it's a new little kind
She
of.
looks richer.
Yeah, that's it. And he's like, "Oh, you're still beautiful to me," or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's just Renee Russo, the exact same. Of course.
Now she probably knew it was really him and just was like, "It's been 18 years, and you were kind of a fucking loser."
Yeah, you're kind of a little.
Yeah, because he
fuckboy
starts
loser.
the trend that he continues for the rest of the movie, where anytime he sees her, he just yells at her. Mm-hmm. He's constantly screaming at her the
Yeah,
entire
he's
time.
Can we be real? He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay? He fucking sucks. He sucks as an actor. Sorry, Emilio. This is terrible. You were better in Mighty Ducks.
Maybe you get better later on. I don't know.
The funny thing about this is, as we've been talking, I'm like, what the fuck else was Emilio Estevez like ever in?
Repo Man,
The new Mighty Ducks,
Yeah,
National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1,
Young Guns.
but these are all like,
90s movies.
I think,
and
yeah,
80s.
like some of these might be earlier than this movie, but like,
Oh yeah,
when's the last like hit Emilio Estevez or like relative hit Emilio Estevez movie?
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, the Mighty D3. Yeah, D3.
in D3
So
he wasn't
anyway-
really in it because they all went off to college and got a new coach.
Oh, he wasn't in D3?
No, he was around for some, but D3 is when they all go to college or they're preparatory high school. So they get a new coach. Who's
Okay.
got his own struggles.
As much as I would love to talk about the Mighty Ducks franchise, which is one of the greatest franchises of our youth and time and American cinema, we have the champagne truck.
Yeah, I've been waiting for
Travis,
this one.
talk about the champagne truck.
This thing, so as Alex escapes the apartment, because Vasindik shows up at Julie's apartment and they get into a big high-speed chase. Apparently in the future, instead of just having a casual delivery truck, like we've all seen the Amazon vans out there, or just, the Budweiser trucks, they have a champagne truck that's shaped like a giant barrel that just has champagne shoved in the side, like a wine cooler, you know what I mean? So he's now absconded with this giant German champagne truck, and this is what he's chosen to drive for the getaway.
in a
as
high-speed chase.
a high-speed chase where he's like battling tanks.
Why would you
and-
not use a top-heavy slow vehicle?
Right. Exactly. Like the most, this thing, if you take a turn
Yeah, you're
5
done.
miles over
You're
the limit,
done.
you're fucking tipped.
They do have technology in here that I wish they had in real life, but that's just because we live in Houston and road rage is a real life thing where you can scan the barcode of somebody's car, then you can pop up on their screen in their
Yeah.
car to yell at them.
And
Yeah,
they
that's
might
actually
they
the
were.
only thing I remembered from being a kid was this scene and him talking to him on the laptop, and he keeps shutting the laptop, and then Jagger opens it and he's like, "No, can't get rid of me."
That is like the one fucking note that I have is like, how does he open the laptop? So Jagger's
What's the
like,
future?
he's patching in, he's jacking in, if you will, into Emilio Estevez's champagne truck to yell at him and taunt him and do villain things. And Emilio appropriately is like, fuck this. I'm just going to close the screen. Like, If I know a scary thing is about to pop up on, you remember those like, what's wrong with this picture?
Oh, God.
And then the lady with no eyes pops up and screams at you. I would simply close the fucking laptop. I know where this is going and I don't want to see it.
But nope.
But this is like if they could pop the fucking screen open and then scream at you. And that's
Except
a
for
hell.
He's just
That's a
casually
hell
talking
world.
to him.
Yeah, well, but
He's trying to get to know him.
he's cool. He's
He's like,
Jagger.
furlong. That's all he says.
Furlong.
Furlong.
There is a part here where
We are
it
bad at
cuts to
accents.
Jagger. Yeah. I think I'm good at them. I just don't know what his accent is, so I just don't want to do it. Because I don't know what type of British he is.
He's a Jagger.
There is a point, though, where it shows Jagger, and he's like in his warmobile, and he's kind of popping up, and it's just a black background. Like solid black. And the whole time they're actually driving through, even in the tunnels, there's like light coming on. And there must have been a thing where Jagger was like, I gotta re-fucking shoot this. They're like, well, we're in a tunnel. Just put a fucking black background behind him. We get the best
The worst.
blue screen shot of this movie. So Estevez, Alex, Furlong decapitates the top of this champagne truck going under an 18-wheeler, I believe, is what happens. He like ducks down. He saves himself from being decapitated, but just sheds the top of this. So all this Perrier Jouet Grand Brut, this Moet and Chandon, some Dom Perignon. It's all fucking ruined. But he leads them on a closed bridge, and at the very last minute, he jumps off out of the champagne truck and into the Hudson River. And the shot of him jumping is chef's kiss.
It looks so bad that it looks like they just put a big TV in front of his ass and he just jumped 1 foot out of the
Just
way.
a giant 92. It's one of those. Did you have anyone have a friend who had a rich family and had those projector TVs?
No.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, I had to move one.
Yeah, like you had everyone had a cathode ray tube, right?
Yeah.
It's a normal TV, heavy ass motherfucker. So rich people had a big screen, but it was like, if you looked at the bottom, there was like a RGB, like 3 projectors.
And
That would
it hit
project
a
onto
mirror
it.
and then projected back onto the screen.
Oh.
That was like the real, you're dealing with some fucking big money. So that's what this
I
is.
will tell you right now, you can't sell those for $30 at an estate sale in 2022.
Really?
Nope.
You just saw one recently?
You can't give it away.
I wonder why.
They're huge and low def.
That's true, but like, don't people like to? I guess like it's not the charm of a cathode ray tube, so because those are like good working CRTs.
We
are,
tried
like,
to give
people
it away
want
to
those.
Neil's Bar, and even they were like, "No, we're good."
Damn,
Yeah.
that's brutal. So big explosion. We get our second real big explosion of the movie. Great job. And Furlong jumps into the Hudson, which we do hear is like so fucking polluted.
Yeah, Vasendik says, if you drink any of that, I'm out of a job.
Yeah. So
But in a much better accent.
of course we will assume.
Just gonna start using different accents. Don't try to do Jagger.
Hey, if he drinks any of that, I'm out of a job.
Oi, Witcher, if he drinks any of that water, I'll be out of a job, I will. So he jumps in, and so the next scene is he pops up on like a little pier where a dude's just kind of eating.
That dude is Frankie Faison.
That's
And
Frankie
that dude's name in this is Eagle Man.
That's right. He's Eagle Man.
And that man's name was Albert Einstein. So Frankie what? Frankie
Faison.
which is a very Italian name. What do you know of his history? What's his deal?
He's been in lots of stuff. He is not related to
He's been in movies.
Clueless actor Donald Faison. Also of Scrubs fame.
Okay. Maybe they're distant cousins.
No, I looked. They're not related.
They're not related.
Well,
Not
he
related
was
at all.
Irvin Burrell in The Wire.
Oh, okay. I don't
And
remember
he
that
was
character, but I love
Barney
The Wire.
Matthews in the Hannibal Lecter franchise. And Sugar Bates in the Cinemax series Banshee.
Okay, I haven't seen. I've
That's-
seen The Wire.
That's all that popped up on the little brief summary without actually clicking Wikipedia.
There we go. Yeah, okay. Without actually doing the Wikipedia, right? Because
Yep.
we're researchers here. We're professional movie
yes.
reviews and critics. So anyway, the joke is he like comes up. He's immediately coughing up water. So that's bullshit. Because he should be dead.
Well, maybe he didn't swallow it. It just says if he swallows it.
I mean, he's like the way that Furlong pops up here. He's like gasping for
Maybe
air.
it's like little kids, if they taste something they don't like, they immediately just start spitting.
They're like ooh ooh puh puh.
Yep.
Like he just kind of is treading water.
He does look like a 12-year-old.
He's as tall as a 12-year-old. How tall is Emilio Estevez?
Probably as tall as us.
No, absolutely, he's not. You're taller than I am. Yeah, I'm 5'10".
I'm
You're what, 6?
I've stopped lying. I'm 5'11 and a half.
You're 5'11. You did not quite make the 6.
I had to quit.
Well, you're
that lie a
married
couple
now,
years
so you can
ago.
get yourself
now
off
I'm
the
like,
dating profiles.
I'm 5'11 and a half.
I made it, brother. It's okay.
I'm not 6'7 anymore. What was I looking up?
The height of Emilio
Estevez.
Estevez.
Oh, why?
Which is way more interesting than whatever the fuck is going on in the movie right now. So he talks to this guy who kind of gives him he just gives him some kind of general advice. It's like a little pep talk.
You know what most homeless people do.
Yeah.
If you go find a homeless on the street, just chat him up
like-
for a few minutes.
An eagle swoops down and picks up some food. You think it's circling back to its family and it's like, why is this life? But like with a lot more words.
Yeah.
He's also
Basically
trying to feed him some rat.
He's calling Emilio a bitch.
Yeah. And he's eating rat and suggests rat's fucking good. So we know it's the future.
Yeah, because he's like, how do you eat that? He's like, you don't just eat it. You got to season it and make a nice sauce.
Yeah.
Which sounds a lot better.
It'd be cool if he talked in a Cajun accent. He's like,
I'm not even gonna touch
mon
that.
ami, you gotta put it in a nice little roux, you know?
So he's 5'7".
5'7".
No, that's bullshit.
So that's a
bullshit.
work. He's a shoot 5'5". Okay.
Oh, so he's like Adam Cole 6 foot.
Yeah, like Adam Cole is 6 foot. He's actually 5'8". Like Emilio Estevez is.
Yeah, because look up how tall Renee Russo is. I guarantee you they're not saying she's 5'12".
No.
Oh, there's Boone.
Boone's here. The amazing Grand Bush.
What a name.
That is like the coolest fucking name as a shoot name. And I looked it up. That is a shoot name.
That's not his
Okay,
real name.
so
Grand Bush.
he's definitely not 5'7" because she's 5'8".
Oh no, no.
Home dude's 5'4".
No, he's Rey Mysterio height. Like he's itty bit. He's a small boy. Look, we stand short kings here.
We really
It's
do.
fine. It's fine. We're not saying it's bad to be.
We were all short at one point.
Yeah, exactly. One time I was like 3 feet. You know, I was like 4, but you know these things. It's fine. I don't even know if that's true. I have no idea when I reached like 4 foot versus like 3 feet.
I remember I was 10 when I hit 5 feet tall.
Okay, well, so that seems about good. So Emilio was like 23 when that happened.
Man, we're
It's fucked up that like we try to generally be like a nice, like accepting progressive group of people. It's like there's two things: you can make fun of old people and you can make fun of short people, and it's fucked up. But I also do it, and I'm not going to stop. So
I am really sorry to anyone who is vertically challenged that is listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
We respect you.
Look, I've seen short kings pull. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's all. I mean, the height means nothing. It's about it's just about the fucking.
Yeah, my driver license still says
Come on,
5'10".
Joe.
I'm just kidding. I kid.
Are you 5'10"? We're the same
Fuck
height?
no.
What are you?
He's
Say it
Emilio.
out loud.
We gave our shoot heights.
So, so forever growing up, I was 5'10". That's what I told everybody since high school. I'm fucking 5'10". 5'7" and a half.
What? Look, okay, but I'll say this. That would
Now,
mean.
I guess it depends what leg I'm standing on, because one leg is shorter than the other.
Okay, well, let's say you're
So
standing.
what happens
on
Now
your-
if
my
you
tall
obliterate
leg,
a femur.
6'2".
If you obliterate a femur, sometimes they don't always put the same size rod in.
Well, I will say this: if that's true, and I don't necessarily believe it, I thought we were around the same height. So you exude an energy of a 5'10" guy,
He's got that big femur energy.
big femur, BFE as they call
BFE.
it. Yeah, big femur energy, or LFE, long femur energy.
That's true. Because
Yeah.
big could just be a big fat bone.
Yeah. What if you just?
Oh,
What if
that's
you
my
just-
wide thigh.
What if you just had a fucking thigh bone that was just like a fucking powder keg? You know what I mean? Like a
Got
fire
the,
hydrant.
Got the one
thick.
regular leg, then the one cartoon ham leg.
It's just that. It's just the fucking a ham hock from like the Flintstones, over like a dinosaur leg. All
Has
right,
the
anyway.
diamond pattern.
So we're back to the movie. We totally missed that they Alex and Julie reunite. Now it's fine. She believes him. She's like, I always knew it. We got to figure out what's going on. We got to figure out which rich piece of shit is trying to jack into your body.
Oh, and I think they're going to be at the bar soon. And I love the bar
So
scene.
yeah, they got to go meet her ex-boyfriend at the bar.
They do have light rail in this, which is appropriate. We had light rail in Houston around 2009.
Yeah,
So, an accurate representation of the future.
I remember when I worked at the liquor store, we were always getting stopped because of construction for the light rail.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's good now. I ride it occasionally. It's nice for the fourth largest metropolis in the U.S. to have some, train form of mass transit. It's good. It's good.
Now,
I like it.
I love...
Was that the one titty? Did I
we
just miss
miss
the
it?
one titty?
You did.
Okay, we have the singular tete, the
I
singular
love
breast.
sci-fi movies in the future where they go to bars.
Yeah.
The bars always look like this. It's like tech noir in Terminator.
They dropped the samurai guy visual in the background. It's like the painting of like an old like Japanese. I forget the name of the actual thing, but like the paintings of like the samurai, and he's like got the face, or whatever, and they kind of drop that in the back. This club is just Etro from Houston. If anyone ever remembers going to Etro, anyway, don't worry about it. It doesn't even fucking exist anymore. So that's a joke that 0.01 people will get. But yeah, so Emilio Estevez does the dumbest fucking thing in the world.
He drinks future booze, gets way too turned,
Yeah.
and then just like goes on the little news report saying, yeah, I'm a Freejack. I'm worth $10 million. I'm in this bar. I'm pretty drunk. And then he does his worst impression, worse than mine. He says, fuck you, asshole, to Vicendic, but he says it in Vicendic's voice, but it sounds like Schwarzenegger.
He's like, fuck you, asshole. Which is the classic whatever British accent, you know.
Austrian.
Yeah.
The other Brit.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood of London, Austria, London. You know? It's like part of Soho or something.
To be fair, he went to American public school.
That's true.
So Europe is Europe.
Yeah.
They all have one voice.
It's true. They all go on the Eurovision competition and sing.
Yes.
And it's just it's just the block.
Yeah, it's
what
Europe.
we see on the map. Yeah, just the Europe. I'm going to the Europe.
Oh, I'm going to go to the Europe. Mm-hmm. I'm backpacking around the Europe.
Did you have a nice time in the Europe?
Oh, it was lovely.
Yeah, it was lovely. I went to this neighborhood of the Europe and that the Paris of the Europe. Anyway,
but this was
dumb.
before Euros, wasn't it?
This was before the EU. Yeah,
but they still had their own currencies.
But so he absolutely is just like damn near short of giving the actual fucking address. Like he's like, here's where I am. Here's what I'm worth. And is Future Booze like? There's like a fantasy drink, and it's like an Elder Scrolls where it's like elf wine, and it's like way more potent or some shit.
It's like, do you remember in Looney Tunes when they had the old Western scenes? And they'd mix all the things together, and the cup would start jumping?
Yes.
It's that, basically.
Like start shooting little fireworks off. They put like fucking nitroglycerin in it for some reason.
Yeah, that's Future Booze.
Yeah, and then Yosemite Sam's like, "Eehaw!" or whatever. Yeah, exactly. So, we find out that, they're coming after him. That was the dumbest fucking move in the face of the fucking world, because he was kind of like under the radar at this point. He'd kind of managed to evade detection, and then just absolutely is like, come and get me.
He's like, hey, I'm at the bar. This bar, I'm on the bar's news feed. You can see me here at the bar.
Yeah, also I'm drunk and I'm kind of like not in my best right now. I'm not sharp right now.
I'm streaming here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m.
Like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Alex Furlong at the bar.
It's your boy Furlong.
Just chatting. Anyway, so him and Renee have like a little, they don't fuck, but they kind of like, they have their first romantic
He kisses at
thing.
her mouth.
Yeah, he goes for it. She's
That's a good way to put it.
not feeling it.
She does not purse the lips.
She dead lips
anything.
him.
Yeah, dead
He
lips
goes
him.
in for the kiss, and she just stays there stale. Like,
dead fish. Just
He gets a little bit of side mouth.
then they kiss. She kind of does it, but it's like, it's the most.
It's the close your eyes and think of London.
Yeah, we assume. So we cut from their romance.
Him fucking exploding.
Yeah, to a shot of him exploding again in the fucking in the racetrack, which is a good. I guess that's like, if you're gonna do the whole, this is the shot that symbolizes that they had sex. An exploding car is probably a pretty decent choice for that. It's like the train going in the tunnel, but a little more,
more
oomph.
car explodey.
with more fire. So at this point, what we are learning, and we'll learn later, is that Airman Trout's character, Michelet, which is Jonathan Banks' character, is watching footage of the explosion, the news footage of when in the past Emilio exploded, and everyone thought he was just fucking vaporized. Because why would you think otherwise? Because that was a huge explosion for a fucking F1. And part of that footage is Rene Russo's character just eaten up and just really, going through grief, right?
Yeah.
You just watched your husband explode. A normal human, sorry, not husband, boyfriend.
Brother.
Brother. You watch your brother explode, brother. As a shoot, not a work. And she worked herself into a shoot. So yeah.
Brother Jack.
That's what goes on. Brother Freejack. We needed at least one. Can we say we need at least one wrestler cameo in this?
At some point.
If fucking Wrath,
Oh no.
Brian Adams just comes out, does the meltdown on someone in a fight scene.
I'm trying to think. Is that Brian Adams? I thought Brian Adams was the one that was Crush. Isn't that
He
Brian
was
Clark?
Crush. Brian Clark is
Clark.
Wrath?
Yeah.
Okay. You can
Breaking
understand.
necks and cashing checks.
Yes, you can understand why I was a
Yeah,
little
they're both
confused.
Brians. They both have names.
They both had long, greasy black hair and
They both didn't do much.
tall guys. Hey, the meltdown was a fucking
Atom Bomb.
awesome move. Was Atom Bomb Wrath?
Yeah.
Okay. I literally thought they were all Bryan Adams.
No, he was Surfer Kona Crush. Then he was Biker Crush.
Right.
And then he was part of, what was their tag team name in WCW?
Was he was part of Chronic after
Chronic, that was the
yeah,
name.
when they were high because they
Yeah.
smoked weed.
They smoked weed.
Yeah.
And liked money. They were the APA, but with weed.
Right. They just APA played poker. These guys
Smoked weed
marijuana.
and didn't do much.
Yeah, and just kind of like look cool
And hung out in the lower mid card.
squash geeks and don't do much else. So there's a showdown at a dock. I don't remember why they're at the dock.
He's got a boat. They set him up a boat to escape on. Rene Russo talked to her boss, A-Hop, and
Big Tone.
he was like, no, we got you. We'll set you up. Because everybody knows that Rene Russo used to bang down on old Furlong.
Yeah.
So when her boss saw Furlong pop up on the TV, he goes, oh, well, let me call Renee, see what she's clearly hanging out with these guys.
Right.
So they were like,
Big
look,
Jules.
she was like, look, we need a place to go. And he's like, I got you. Hey, Hop, I got you a boat. We're good to go. So now
Private Island, you know.
now Alex and
Boone.
are going out to get the boat. And of course it explodes right in their dumb faces.
Yeah. And
then-
what do you know? It's the McJaggernauts.
Yep. We get Gang Wars, baby.
Gang Wars, Throw It Down, which was what? Survivor Series 90...
Something.
This is... So Boone, we saw previously, basically, very shortly, that he's kind of like Rene Russo's bodyguard. Like, he's connected with her.
Yeah.
As part of the corporation, the McClandis Corp. This is, with the limited time he is given, I think a fantastic performance by Grand Bush.
Yeah, he has a ton of good lines here. The worst death scene, though.
Yeah.
Not his, but when he stabs the guy.
Yeah.
And the guy's just hamming it up so bad.
I mean, I love it when I love to see some ham.
This is some ham.
At this point, this is like really this is the second kind of like gun showdown. Like, this is when we, in a chase movie, it's always, the cat and mouse.
Yeah.
But this is really the second, like...
Because we had the diner.
Yeah, the diner was one. I mean, you had the very, very beginning. He does the slow push of the katana, though, on the guy, which is great.
Well, the guy just gargles.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't see where he stabbed him, but we assume
That's
the
true.
neck, But yeah, this is kind of like where, Alex is cornered, and so we get this real cool, explosive fight scene. At the end of it, Boone is injured. He is unable to continue right after stabbing a guy with his katana, but he's like, bring him on. And then he explodes himself.
Yeah, you boys looking for this?
Yep.
Explodes himself. Shrapnel from the explosion lands right next to Vasendik, who doesn't give any shit about it.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, they blew up.
Yeah, he's
Walks.
the consummate professional fucking mercenary. Nothing is going to fuck him up. But you boys looking for this, classic line, all caps on my notes, had to get that. I did say, again, that these Spaceballs ass helmets are just fucking hilarious.
They really are.
They're goofy as hell. Like, these guys are absolute future soldiers, and it's like, it would work in a movie where it's a little more futuristic looking, in like where they're at.
Yeah, because this just looks like you're in an abandoned building.
You're
but
just in a
wearing
warehouse.
Ping pong ball helmets.
Yeah, but we have to wear these dopey ass little helmets that
Yeah.
seem very like
For whatever
cumbersome.
reason, nobody else outside of that security team is dressed up futuristic at all.
No.
They're just in like, I've got this 90s suits
because-
with wide lapels and shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And the other gang that's here, because there's Vasendik's people, then there's Michelette's people. And
Right.
Michelette's people just look like street thugs.
Yeah, they're just
They're just-
guys with
they're just
poor,
homeless.
Poor-looking white people.
yeah, just like, oh fuck,
We
got to
have
do this. It's a
super
living,
cartoon future people,
Yeah.
and then ragamuffins.
right? Yeah, just like guys from any fucking street war thing, A funny thing is, so after Boone asked if the guys are looking for this, they were not, but they got it.
Goddamn right. they
Alex, you goddamn right. Alex runs into another warehouse, and some of Vasendik's people come after him. Vasendik clearly gives the order to have him unharmed.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have to take his body to the person who wants to jack into him, they immediately start firing live fucking rounds at him. Immediately.
But they're laser rounds, and they suck. So
I think they're firing actual bullets at him.
is this because some of these have their laser guns?
Yeah. Well, he's firing bullets. So I get like if it's a kill or be killed kind of deal. And he does eventually, I guess they are the lasers, but do we ever see, because no one fucking hits anybody with it.
Maybe since the lasers are blue now, they're like stun lasers.
Were they red earlier?
I always assumed they were. I don't remember.
Okay. Is it this thing like
I was
fucking
haunted
lightsaber
by that
colors?
plate of food at the diner.
That was the important bit. Yeah, we never see anyone fucking hit with them.
It was
so
like
it's
that food in the Addams Family where they poke it and it pokes back.
Oh yeah, or Better Off Dead with John Cusack, where he pokes it and it like crawls away like a slug off his plate. That was a great movie.
Now we're almost in my favorite wardrobe of the whole movie, which is where little tiny baby boy Emilio puts on this ridiculously oversized helmet, and he looks like the 1990s video game Commander Keen. Where it's like 10-year-old goes to space, puts on this giant fucking helmet, looks like a doofus.
Yeah. At this point, the budget was gone, so they're like, you just really got to put on this normal-sized man's helmet. We don't have time to do the movie magic where you put it on and it somehow fits you perfectly. He electrocutes the dude. I guess these suits are made of metal.
Put the helmet on, Emilio.
Yeah.
Put the fucking helmet on.
And of course, Vicendic is coming after him. They're about to have a showdown. But at this point, the deal is Vicendic and Furlong have started to develop a mutual respect.
Yes.
Like as a hunter, as a merc, Vicendic is like, you're not an easy mark to get. You know what I mean? It's that kind of like, I'm sad that I have to kill you. It's kind of a Holmes Moriarty situation.
I'm still just stuck on this big fucking helmet.
Joe's just watching the screen while Emilio is just waddling around.
Because, I mean,
Just like,
Jaggers,
baby, put on daddy's helmet.
Jaggers has the big motorcycle helmet, but he's also got a GoPro on top of it.
Mm-hmm. And he's got the fucking,
And his
the
like
mic.
little walkie mic.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has Emilio has the Star Wars like Rogue One helmet, but 10 times the size of his
Right.
head.
Yeah, it's just way too big.
It keeps reminding me of like VR Troopers, or what was that, like animal, like the
We are VR troopers.
Or
battle bugs or some shit.
Battle
like it's
bots.
No, there was one
Big Bad
Beetleborgs.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Or it just reminds you of playing VR in the 90s, where the helmet had to be lowered onto you.
Did we talk about that last time?
Yep. We talked about that in Double Dragon.
That's right, because there was the
Because
fucking
that kid was
weird-
having way too much fun with his I'm going on the ground VR game.
It was like, those helmets, I'm still like, how do we not break our necks?
Because they were suspended from
Yeah,
the
on like a
ceiling.
fucking little, like a boom, but it's like, like my tiny child.
I remember
I'm trying
playing
to turn this
some,
fucking helmet.
vector-based tank game. I forgot, Battle Zone or something.
Sure.
And yeah, it just hurts your shoulders.
Yeah.
And they didn't explain to you how to play it, so you're trying to find stuff and you don't realize you have to turn your whole head.
You know what? I get it. I get it now. It all makes sense. So I have an extremely thick neck. Like I have to wear, I don't remember, it's like a damn near 18-inch neck. And that's like for the rest of my size, it's hard to find a fucking shirt where I can button the fucking top bit. And now I get it. I'm like, well, I never was a big neck workout dude. That was it. It was VR. And now I just have this fucking tree trunk neck.
They just Swolverine over
Yeah,
there.
just fucking, let's go. For those of you on video, I just flexed my neck. Anyway, so we're still in the fucking showdown, even at 2 times speed. This movie is way too fucking long.
This movie could have been an email.
It could have been. It could have been. It's not a meeting. It's an email. But no, really, it's about an hour and 50 minutes. I think it could have been like a tight 90.
Yeah, easy.
Cut 15, almost
Just cut
20
out the
minutes.
scenes of him walking.
Right. Yeah. There's just a lot of and that's cool if you're really
He's
world
just
building.
shooting at his girl. So Emilio, a tank pulls up. He just starts firing at it, and then Julie pops out like, "I fucking hate you. Get in."
And the thing is, he's gonna pretend like he didn't know because she kind of stole it, but he's really just he's that asshole. He's
He
like,
really is.
I can get rid of her now and go get me one of those 3D nudes I've heard so much about. So
Twerp.
has he at this point? I think maybe he's just about to find out. Have we at this point figured out who is trying to jack into Alex's body?
No.
No.
This far into it, we're still like, Oh. We do know it's kind of a faceless rich person something.
Correct.
And obviously the McClandis Corp is involved because Jonathan Banks' character is out to get him.
Yeah, and in this scene is where we actually find it out.
Okay, yeah. So this
I know because my note says, Estevez is so bad at this whole acting thing.
we repeat. So they go to Shinra Tower and take the elevator. They meet, I guess Jonathan Banks' character would be like a Heidegger or perhaps a Reese, not quite a President Shinra level. They're not all the way up at the top of the fucking tower.
Travis, this is a video game.
Yeah, this is a Final Fantasy VII reference.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was on PlayStation 1.
Classic, yeah. It's.
And then it came back again.
Mm-hmm. Have you played the remake?
No.
It's really good. I was surprised at how good it actually was.
I'll have to try because I played the demo for 16 and that I liked.
16, I have it downloaded, but I haven't played it because...
I hated 14.
Awful. Wait, 14. That's the online one.
Oh, I hated 15.
15, I liked
Road
the
Trip
beginning.
Simulator,
Yeah, the
whichever
road
that
trip.
one was.
The bros, the boys. Yeah. I liked hanging with the boys for a little bit.
That part was fun. I just didn't like the combat.
Yeah, the combat was... So this one, 16, they just totally get rid of the whole idea that you'll have multiple people to control. They just cut that shit right out.
Thank you.
You're just one guy. 17 Remake is kind of like... it's a little bit more like 15. You can switch between each character, but like you get full control. So it's not like in 15 where it's like you can get one of the boys to like do something,
Yeah.
or like focus on whatever, like focus on healing, focus on attack. I think that's how it went.
Oh, like 12 when you had the gambits and stuff.
Kind of like that, yeah. So the 7 Remake is like you actually, so if it's Cloud, Barrett, and Tifa, you can actually switch and like control Tifa for the fight, and then Barrett and Cloud will go into like automatic mode. But they'll just kind of attack, and then like you can kind of, if you want to like, oh, I have a limit break or I have this, you're kind of always ping-ponging between them. So it's not turn-based, but if you actually want to optimize it, you do need to be kind of constantly switching and having them do certain things.
That sounds like a lot.
It is, but it's good.
They should have remade 8.
I hate 8.
8's so good.
Okay. I don't hate 8. I hated 8. I actually, when we were living together around 2009, in the Freejack world, I went back and replayed 8 on the PC because they put it on Steam or whatever. And I kind of liked it. I don't think I ever understood the junction system properly when I was a kid. And then when I got it, I'm like, oh, like you got to kind of look around for good spells.
It's also a lot better game to play when you're not a kid.
Yeah,
it's not as kid fun.
Right. It's a little more like the vibe's a little more serious.
Yeah.
I don't think it's top tier, but it's better than I thought it was.
It's not top tier.
Yeah. But 9. I want a 9 remake.
9 rules.
9.
Well,
was
isn't
fucking
9
awesome.
getting a remake?
Rumored.
Oh, okay.
Travis, what's your favorite Final Fantasy game?
I didn't play actually a lot of Final. All my
Did you
friends
say
played Final
10
Fantasy.
except for Blitzball?
No, he
'Cause I
only
agree.
Blitzball. He just wanted a Blitzball separate game.
I do knew there was
I would hate that so much.
What was it? The Golden Chocobo?
Golden Chocobo?
Chocobo.
That was Final Fantasy 7.
Okay. Yeah, I do know that. Like I said, all my friends played Final Fantasy 7. I couldn't get into the RPG games back then.
Okay. All right. What about now? You like a Persona guy? You like Shin Megami Tensei?
No, but I do like Persona.
Yeah.
I don't like
Persona's
Shin
the better
Megami.
one of the
Yeah,
two.
it's fun.
Well, yeah, it's the more...
There's story.
I've never played a Shin Megami Tensei game, so
All
I
right,
can't
so
really
play
talk.
Persona and then
No, I
pull
played
out
Persona.
pull out plot,
Mm-hmm.
pull out story,
So it's just grinding
character development.
that lasts 150 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like, all right, so you're in this world, everything fucking sucks. There's an apocalypse, now
Yeah.
there's demons everywhere,
Uh-huh.
and go.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you beat a level and you're like, I don't know what to do now.
Okay.
So you just kind of wander until you eventually find more plot.
So I'm counting today who will get mad at us about this episode, and it's
Everyone.
It's English people, probably Austrians, F1 fans,
People that aren't tall.
short people, Shin Megami Tensei fans.
And definitely Emilio Estevez.
And we will have a hit put on us specifically. He's like, yeah, I'm still active and I'm coming after your ass.
Hey, Emilio, I
he would not
really
say
enjoyed
it.
you in Game Changers. But
He wouldn't
it's all
say
good.
it with that much conviction.
That's true. He'd be like, I'm going to get you. I'm Emilio Estevez. And I would simply run
Hey,
with
you
my
guys,
longer
I
legs.
heard what you
So
said,
in the
and you
remake
might
that they
die.
did, they've already canceled of they brought Mighty Ducks back, right? So now there's
Okay.
Mighty Ducks Game Changers. They did 2 seasons of it. It's already been
Okay, it's a
canceled.
series, so we're doing like a Netflix
So
original
yeah, so
or
they
something?
come
Probably
back,
Disney Plus,
new
I
group of
guess.
kids, but they need a place to skate.
Uh-huh.
So they find this old ice rink called the Ice Palace.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as you walk in, no hockey. Fuck hockey. Hockey can eat my ass. Like all this. Then you go to find out that the ice rink is owned by Gordon Bombay. And this mom,
Emilio's character.
in the Mighty Ducks.
I didn't
So
remember.
the coach who's now the coach of this new team is trying to get him to he's like, no hockey. She's like, come on, I'll pay, you know, all
Wait,
this stuff.
why does his
So-
character hate hockey?
So you come to find out later in the season, he got kind of framed for. So he paid.
So there was a child sex ring.
He paid.
no.
He paid
Like
for
a
a
Jim
kid's
Jordan
family
thing?
to you can't pay college kids before they go professional.
Right, yeah. Well,
He
now you
paid.
can.
Well, so but he had paid for this family to help out because they needed money.
Okay.
And so he got disbarred from hockey. I don't know. He get banned.
Yeah, it's much like being
so
a
now
lawyer.
he's just a big
Yeah.
grump. So anytime she goes to ask advice from him, like it's 3:00 in the afternoon, she opens the door to his office. He's just asleep on the couch, like, "Mrr, get out of here!" It's an old grumpy asshole.
Drunk, grumpy.
Yeah.
So Tom Hanks from League of Their Own.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, a very
Is-
very similar character arc as well in that first season.
Is his character played by Emilio Estevez?
Yeah, yeah, it's still.
So they brought him back?
Yeah, they brought him
Wow.
back for
Does
him.
he look like trash? Because Estefez's don't age well.
I would disagree with that.
You think Charlie Sheen looks good right now?
I mean, all things considered, he was okay. Martin Sheen looked good for a while.
Okay, I'll give Martin.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's just say he's got a Brent neck nowadays. Emilio,
Oh, he got that thick neck.
it matches the rest of him.
Okay.
So he's become a little more stout.
Is there another Estevez that I'm forgetting?
Charlie Sheen,
No, Charlie Sheen, Emilio.
Martin
Sheen.
I think that's it.
Is that
Baba,
it?
yeah, I think it's just the three of them.
Their mom.
Who played Spartacus? No, that was that was a totally different person. That was not Kurt Russell.
That would have been awesome.
Wait, who the fuck was Spartacus? So in Freejack, we get to this scene where they're talking to Airman Trout's character, and he kind of is going like, this is where they find out that it is actually, Big Tone,
Yep, they
Anthony
see-
Hopkins, McClandis.
They
he's
see him in
the
a
one.
plastic coffin.
Yeah, he's Mr. House from Fallout New Vegas. Another
There you
video game reference.
To interject,
Yes.
Kirk Douglas,
Kirk
father
Douglas.
of Michael Douglas.
That's right. So I was thinking Michael Douglas, Martin Sheen. Don't worry about it.
Kevin Bacon.
You were thinking father,
Bacon.
father, son.
I'm fucked up. It's fine. My brain, just don't worry how it works. So we find out that McClandis is Mr. Housing It. He wants to jack into to Alex's body. So the Anthony Hopkins we've been seeing throughout the movie is a projection of him in his mind palace.
I wish they would make a sequel to New Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
I love New Vegas.
It's the best.
It really is.
Yeah, it's the best modern Fallout. So I got that right? Like did he just recently Mr. House himself, or has he been Mr.
No,
House?
he
this
has
entire
been
time?
because
That's why we never see him. Right?
yeah,
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's been dead.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Johnny Banks tells him he's been like this for weeks now.
Yeah. So, but he's like in he's like in a stasis. So that is his consciousness.
Yes,
And they're just trying to find.
because we'll soon meet his consciousness.
Oh, we absolutely will. So now, as is going on, as we've mentioned before, there is a mutual respect between Vacendic and Alex. So there's a big showdown in the bottom of Shinra Tower between the McClandis people and Vicendic's people. And so Vicendic's kind of like looking out. We find out he wants to get the job done, but he kind of hates McClandis's people.
Well, he
right?
hates Michelette's people.
Michelette's people. I'm sorry. Michelette's the space guys.
Yeah, Jonathan Banks.
Yeah, Jonathan Banks. It's not necessarily McClandis's people, even though
He's gone rogue at this point.
Yeah, because he's trying to be like, fuck this old guy. I'm just basically going to delete his consciousness.
Yep.
Let him die, and I'm going to be the head of the corporation. Which, fucking fair. Why are we letting this fucking zombie
Good
guy
move,
run
yeah.
it? Yeah. So now
Well,
we have
because
to go-
also if you do that, then you still have to deal with Emilio Estevez now being your boss. Because A-Hop's just going to live in Emilio Estevez.
And fuck me, right? Like,
Imagine that guy being your boss.
yeah, like he's like Emilio Estevez is talking in a fucking British accent now.
It's like, hey,
Hello, I'm Emilio Estevez.
Hello, Clarice.
Always wants his
Oh,
fava beans. And
oh, hey,
Chianti.
Clarice. Do you still hear the lambs?
Hello, Clarice. Do you still hear the lambs? The lambs, Clarice. They're crying out. Do you hear them? So they go to the top of Shinra Tower, which looks like, if anyone remembers the classic animated special Tiny Toons, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, they're in the centrifuge ride at Happy World Land that turns people into goop.
Nice.
So they go all the way. It's the 200th floor. They're so high up in the air.
That building is not stable.
No, and with these little nodules, which, do the nodules do anything?
They make it look futury.
They don't spin though. They look like they should spin.
It does not
static.
catch wind to tell you the direction.
It's just they're gonna get hit by lightning like all
They're
the
just
time.
knobs.
Yeah. So they go into the fucking. They go through a sphincter door that goes into
The spiritual switchboard.
Yes, and we see a giant eye because it's the future.
Because it's
brother.
I and I.
Oh fuck! I wasn't ready for that. If it's fucking like, oh, this Anthony Hopkins persona has actually just been like a computer generation, like, hey man, it's us. We want to get into your body. It's I and I.
And then Randy Quaid's just back.
He's making a new version of the Freaks. You know, alternating consciousness. So it's a beautiful fucking thing. We get like kind of. I hate to use everything in video game references, but it's like when you get Gaia in fucking Horizon Zero Dawn and like the world behind you just get the big panoramic view of like a mesa, like they're in the desert. Anthony Hopkins' consciousness appears before them wearing a white suit. And this is, so he basically gives away his story here.
Yeah.
Why he's doing this. And it's essentially because he's so fucking horny for Rene Russo. Well, come on, man.
Yeah, that's right. He says it. He's like, I just need... And he tries to convince her, like, hey, I know you don't want to bang me down, but you used to bang this guy down. That's why I picked him.
And
Right.
also, this marks the first time he has been on set with another person in
Yes.
this movie.
And even that is questionable because
No.
this whole thing is shot in blue screen.
He did, because the only reason he took this job, I watched an interview with him, he wanted to meet Mick Jagger.
That was it.
That was it.
So the showdown we're getting to
Is so he could show up and meet Mick Jagger.
have like 50 seconds because he's like a big Stones guy.
Yep.
And he's like, all right, I'm out.
He's like, hey man, love, can you hear me knocking?
yeah.
Let's do this shit.
Okay. Let's fucking go. Let's rock and
I
roll.
guess I can hang out with Emilio.
Sir Anthony Hopkins. That's a respectable deal. So now he gets his first kind of on-screen meeting we see with Mick Jagger through the video screen, but they will meet in person soon enough. But yeah, in terms of like big, I guess if you had to have the final confrontation with the mastermind, he has to give the classic villain speech. I was really bummed that it was like, I just want to fuck Julie.
Yeah, it's like, I just want to bone her, but she
Yeah.
didn't want to bone, but she used to bone you.
She's bone you, so if my dick is now your dick,
Then our dick
it's fine actually.
can be her dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Will you
where,
take
that
our
becomes
dick?
a problem when you say that in front of the girl that you're trying to fuck.
Right.
Like if she didn't know and she's like, hey, look,
Yeah,
let me be you. We're going to have a bunch of money.
And also,
It'll
he
be cool.
immediately flips script and is like, but you know what? I guess I lose, so I'm just going to transfer everything to you real quick. So could you start typing these numbers real
Right.
fast there, buddy?
But he's bullshitting.
Oh, definitely.
He's definitely trying to do a
This
little
is
trick.
the least covered bullshit ever,
Yeah,
too.
it's the least convincing, like, wait, I'm actually doing a nice thing. You never buy it for a second, because he's always like, gosh, I thought really hard about it, and it turns out I'm kind of a bad
He's like,
guy.
aw shucks.
Aw, shucks. Aw, geez. I did an oopsie.
Guess I shouldn't have saved you from death so that I could try to use your body.
Yeah, so he's like, I'll just let you be. I'll let you fucking
I will
F1
just
driver.
delete my rich ass self real
Yeah.
quick.
I'm going to just euthanize myself.
Because we
turn
know
off.
super corporate rich people are very giving and generous. And
As we
selfless.
know, in the year of our Lord 2023, all of the big billionaires and corporations are benevolent and good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why would it be any different in the alternate, universe of 2009? They're just getting out of the banking crisis at this point, It's kind of still in the shit.
Yeah, they're not even thinking about penis ships in space.
Yeah, you just got that big bailout money, I mean, so they bring out a fucking crystal
Yeah, because
laser.
Vicendic shows up and then McLandis is like, finally, I had to talk to this nerd for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Here's a cool guy.
Yeah. finally, someone who isn't a virgin.
Yeah.
Let's hang out.
Who's never fucked in his life, which we mean Emilio Estevez, not the character of Alex. What the fuck his name is? Thank you. No, I mean Emilio Estevez personally. Emilio, email me. I got some shit I got to talk to you about. So we get essentially, they link up. So they're about to start transferring consciousness. And as this is happening, we basically go into the Crossfire commercial where they're like,
Crossfire!
Yeah, like they're sitting away from each other and like lasers are shooting between their heads. That's an addition. But like things are flopping around and we're seeing memories. And I'm pretty sure
Yep, there it is.
that we get a shot, like the memory that flashes in Alex's head is the one time his character fucked Rene Russo.
or at least fucked on top of her.
Yeah, like missionary position. And I was like, whoa, he remembers fucking Rene Russo and exploding. That's the two memories we see. We don't even see the Emilio Estevez lookalike kid where we
don't
get
see
like, it's his childhood.
We
Yeah,
don't see
nothing.
parents, family.
The one time I got my nut off and the time I exploded
Vinegar
in the
strokes
car.
and explosions, and that's it.
Next, that's fucking it. It's a beautiful mind. It's
Look,
very
if you
smooth.
if your mind's being erased,
Oh, and then he
you
sees
got to think
Eagle
about
Man, too.
Nickelodeon, or you got to think about blasting into Rene Russo.
Yeah, I mean, that's fucking. I'd be there, Same, actually. So the transfer starts to happen. We see the body, which is the represented consciousness of Alex, begins flying in the air like, no, I'm being deleted. But then Mike Ehrmantraut, hard ass killer, comes in, fucking shoots a little. So they have shoots the crystal, which, by the way, I have to say, when I said the building didn't spin, inside the chamber is a kind of smaller version of the top of the building,
Right.
that does spin. That spins and transfers consciousness and has a crystal in it. How much cooler would this building have been if they had a giant fucking crystal sitting at the top of
But
it?
then you would have known it was an evil building the whole time.
Or like, I don't know, the fucking...
No, the moment lightning strikes that crystal, that's opening.
That's hell.
That's opening a portal.
That's an eldritch abomination.
Yeah.
Right? The old gods
the tentacles are coming through the clouds.
Right. It's just the ending of fucking
Just
Watchmen
viewing
at
them,
that
you'll
point.
have to roll a D100 for sanity. And
Yeah.
I love BRP games.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
So now it looks like the transfer has happened. There is no body of McCandless because he's already in.
Yeah, because he's
he's
already
been dead. So we were just seeing the representation of his consciousness.
His Matrix form.
Yes. So it's gone. Emilio's back up, and everyone draws their fucking guns on him, and they're like, "What's going on? Who are you? Are you Alex, or are you McCandless?" And he's like, "I'm McCandless."
Without even attempting an accent. Oh yeah, I'm McCandless.
Yeah. It's me, McCandless.
It's me, Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, blimey. Cheerio. Pip, pip, cheerio. Love a sneaky Nando's, I do. That's what
You're
he
giving
said.
him way too much credit.
Yeah, I am. So they
yeah,
have
we
the
know
showdown.
as soon as he got into there, he'd just be like, "Hey guys, it's me, Renee. Let's go."
Yeah. He's like, let's go. Let's get to the fuckmobile. So what they try to do to verify it is they're like, give us your personal passcode to like log back into the system or whatever. And he just, so
He's just like, 3?
Estevez is like 6, 1, 2,
9er.
alpha. He's just doing these fucking numbers. So Jagger's like looking at his little deal and he's like, that's right. That was the code. And then fucking Ehrmantraut's like, all right then, motherfucker. I can't believe my shit fucking failed, so I'm just going to shoot you. And he just gets fucking RoboCop. Like, he just gets fucking obliterated with future guns.
Jagger just shoots him.
Jagger blows him
Actual
away.
bullets, not lasers.
They just murder a guy who's
Yeah.
like the second in command of a corporation.
Not
no one's going to
anymore.
ask questions. More like Mike Ehrman dead.
And then Emilio pretends like, oh, I've never been in a body before. Let me move my arm things.
Ah, yes. I sold my Sir Anthony Hopkins body for this tiny little
Young,
arm.
supple thing.
Now I am a halfling.
And
It's awesome.
They get into the car to leave.
Anthony Hopkins
Yeah,
isn't tall.
They have to, now that it's because it was Anthony Hopkins' car, now it's Emilio S.'s car, they got to get him a booster seat.
Which is, yeah, he's in his like little boy booster. So first off, at the end of this, it's like, I am Rich McCandless. I'm going to, and his name's not, he's just Rich. He's McCandless and he's rich. His name isn't Richard McCandless as far as I know. So they get in the car and it's just a fucking old, like Rolls. Like it's just like a fucking 19 fucking 50s Rolls Royce, of course. Because in future New York, where everyone is fucking shooting bazookas at each other, you want to keep inconspicuous.
Yeah,
so you're in this fucking 100-year-old car. You know what I mean? So to wrap it up, fucking finally, thank God, it turns out as what we think is McClandis gets in the car, and Julie just goes along with him. She's just like, guess this is my fate now. Guess I gotta fuck my old boyfriend's tiny body with an old man brain in it. But then they're stopped.
Poor Emilio.
But we're fucking killing him. I don't even dislike him. Like, this is just, I just started doing the joke and was like, I have to double down every time.
It just goes.
So Jagger stops them.
We'll dedicate this podcast to him.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah. A love letter to Emilio Estevez.
That's a bit much.
It's
fucking
bad.
stinks.
Look, it's a bad movie. He knows it's a fucking... I think if I could sit down, and look down at him and say, Emilio, did you think this was a good movie?
You sit him down on top of the textbook.
Yeah, as I put him on my knee and kind of bounce it like he's my nephew. The best part is, like, I'm 5'10". It's not like I'm fucking tall. So, as McClandis, quote unquote, and Julie are leaving, they are stopped at a roadblock by Vicendic. And he walks up to the window and he says, I knew you weren't McClandis, because McClandis doesn't know how to fucking drive for some reason.
Because he's rich.
I kind of like, it's like a Succession thing. Like, you never see any of the characters actually driving their own fucking car. So, haha, got you. You're an F1 driver. It's you. You're actually Alex. He's like, wink, wink.
And he tells Julie, you'll have to train him better.
Yeah. And he, it's fucking awful. So, that's my thought. So anyway, they drive off into the sunset.
But not before. Julie didn't know that he was still Alex.
Right. She was accepting a very grim
So
fate.
when Vicendic says that, he looks over to her, Alex does, winks and says, nibble my ear.
For luck.
For luck.
For luck.
Which immediately I just wanted to die.
We wrapped it up, folks. It came full fucking circle. That's how we know it's Alex. And that's Freejack. They drive off into whatever fucking dumb adventure. I mean, let's be real here. The world still fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But they're rich.
They are rich.
So it doesn't suck for them.
Freejack 2 is actually Alex Furlong trying to save the world with all his rich guy money. And that was such a bad idea, nobody even thought about making it.
Wait, yeah. Was that actually ever an idea?
Oh, I have no fucking idea.
Oh, okay.
No. He's absolutely
lying. No, Rene Russo's going to run the company now. Mm-hmm. Alex is just going to be there. He's probably going to get
he's going to reinvent
extended.
F1. He's like, let me take some of this money. We're going to make some F1 cars.
He's just going to Twitch stream with like a fucking e-car. Like, he's going to have like the fucking $500 little setup with the fucking, you know what I'm talking about? You ever seen those things?
He's going to make noise when he's like,
hey, Julie.
And then you sit down.
Wait, yeah. Hey, Julie, do you remember when I used to drive? And she's like, that's very nice.
She's like, I'm fucking busy. Yeah.
I'm fucking doing
Julie,
deals
I need my juice box and my orange slice.
I'm running the fucking company.
She's like, I fucked this guy. I can't believe it. And that's Freejack. So,
who was your favorite character?
It's got to be Jagger, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's either him or, in the brief appearance, Amanda Plummer, and also the angry guy in the diner.
That dude ruled.
In no particular order, because I don't want to insult anybody here. I'm not trying to insult people on this podcast. It's one of those three people.
You are very mild-tempered.
I am. I'm gentle and accepting and loving.
So Vicendic by far for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No one else came close.
Okay. Travis?
I always like seeing Davy Joe in a movie because he always plays a scumbag.
Yeah.
He always plays like the scummiest piece of shit.
So I remembered he was in this movie, so when Alex first got into the cab, I was so fucking stoked.
I was hoping it
because I thought I just put his character from Scrooge
He's got to be a cat.
into this.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh, here we go.
Nice callback. Yeah.
But no.
But he was good. He's got like a perfect fucking
he's
New
good in
Yorker.
everything.
Yeah.
He's
just crusty.
Yeah, it rules. I have not listened to a single fucking New York Dolls song in my entire life. I assume they're good.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan.
Okay. What's the closest comp? like genre-wise?
70s glam punk.
Probably like
That's
it.
pretty much. What
I'd
it
probably
is.
enjoy it. Okay, so do we have star ratings? What do you want to give this, Joe? The whole thing here, and I kind of teased it, Joe. When we first watched this movie 1,000 years ago, you were much higher on it, but has your opinion stayed the same?
No. So when we first watched this back in like 2009,
In Obama's America,
I gave this in my brain a whole 4 stars out of 5. And on rewatching it, it ended up with a 2.5. And let me tell you why.
Yes.
Because Emilio Estevez gets 0 stars.
Okay.
Mick Jagger gets 5 stars. So I gave him the average.
Just between those two.
I split the difference.
Split the difference. Well, kind of. It'd be more like a 1 star, because if it's a 0, half of 0 is still 0. Whatever. Okay.
No, you combine them to get the
Oh,
average.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you just cut it in half. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm fucking dumb.
Hey, my brother's a math doctor,
I'm
so I can't disappoint.
an idiot, so that's cool. All right. Travis.
Ooh, yeah. The second time watching this through, the first time I was pumped on it. I was like, fuck yeah, even give it a reboot. You go wild with it. And then having to sit through, what's a nice way to say dog shit acting?
I think that's the nicest way you
That's
can say
probably,
it.
yeah.
What's the word? Like an effortful but misguided performance. If I were writing
Like,
for
the
like
thing
a
is, this
fucking
movie
review.
could have been a lot better with a strong male lead.
Yeah, I think
It would have changed everything, because the cast was good minus him.
What I think happened is Emilio got a little too greedy. And he's like, I would put out 2 movies this year. It's like, dude, just put out the ducks and shut up.
So you think he had like a finite amount of acting juice in him?
I think he had a finite amount of acting juice. I don't think it replenishes.
Right, yeah. It's got to take time.
So he spent it all on the Ducks
He
one.
spent it all on the ducks.
Yeah.
Where he also played just like a greasy scumbag lawyer. But
Relatable.
So much more of an interesting character.
Yeah.
So did you rate it? Did I miss it?
You
No,
did
I
not give it
haven't
stars.
yet.
Oh, okay.
Go with your gut.
Yeah, it's a 2. It's a
2?
2 for me.
2.
Brent?
I think that you have a great supporting cast. I kind of agree with your assessment, Joe. Like, you needed a better lead. Emilio Estevez, as much shit as I've given him, I know there's something in there. It just wasn't there this movie. Like, it was just flat. He and Rene Russo had 0 chemistry.
Yeah.
So the love story driving plot just never fucking landed. And it was kind of a thing where this movie needed, I think, a little bit more budget. It was a little, whatever they had, they needed like another like 20 grand or something.
needed
I don't know.
better
90s
acting.
money. Yes.
Less action scenes and more actual story.
Yeah, I think if you kind of like really made it like a thriller more so than like an action movie.
Yeah, because this is just cat and mouse strung together with
Right.
awkwardly long scenes in between.
This is The Fugitive, but in the future. And
shit.
and shitty. And there's other things. Look, I'm just trying to fucking
And
find
nothing
a-
iconic.
No. But
Except
Mick
for
Jagger was
the
very
3D
good.
nudes.
And 3D nudes is pretty good, and the one titty in that one club. So I give it 1 titty out of 5. No. My actual rating is, I think, a 2. I think 2.
As far as living up to my memories, it kind of did.
Yeah?
Like, I remembered liking it more when I was a kid, but I also remembered it feeling like it went on forever. Because we watched this with commercials back then.
Yeah.
So this was like a 3-hour block on TNT.
That's insane. For those listening, through the magic of editing, this will go by a little bit more breezy. We've been having the movie play at 2 times speed while we recorded this, and it still feels like fucking
And we've still almost been
forever.
recording for 2 hours now.
Yeah, it's nuts. This movie is too goddamn long. Cut it down.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Given the ability to go back in time and change things, we're not getting that deep.
Okay. I was like, let's fucking go. 30 more minutes, baby.
Who would you cast as the leading man in this? Keeping in mind 1992.
1992.
I mean, you could do a Tom Cruise.
He'd fit the profile.
Yeah. Also short.
Yeah.
Short King.
But he would live up to Short King.
Yeah, exactly. He has Short King energy. You could do that. I mean, any dumb fucking futuristic thing, you could do Schwarzenegger. He's too big, though.
He's
But
too
you
big
know
for
who,
this.
You know who
Yeah.
does good time traveling movies?
Who? Van Damme?
Yep.
Oh, Jean-Claude.
Yep.
I got a
Plus, you
curveball
get
for
the
y'all.
splits.
I think that would still fucking suck, but way
But it would
more
suck
fun.
more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a
It would be
curveball.
terrible.
Well, because the
Go ahead.
fight scenes would be better too.
Yeah.
Swayze.
Yeah, but I feel like that'd be
Swayze
a
could be
waste of
good.
Swayze.
It is
Not if it pulled the whole movie up.
right.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody in like the whole supporting cast. I feel like Swayze would be up here. He would just outact everybody.
Like you put Roadhouse Swayze in this?
Well,
yeah. Like, do you really think Swayze's like that much of a?
I like Swayze.
I like Swayze too, but like in terms of pure acting chops, you're like,
no, not just the fact that I like Swayze.
okay,
I
you would just be like
he's up
fucking
here.
Swayze. Yeah, you'd never be able to look at anyone else. You're like fucking Patrick Swayze. Okay, yeah, I think those are some good options. Yeah,
All of those
I
would
mean,
be better.
Cruz would absolutely fucking elevate.
Yeah,
this.
he'd own it.
Yeah, so that'd be the ideal. So recommendation? Do we recommend this?
I do, but only for Jagger
Okay,
and a little bit of La Bamba Bob.
La Bamba Bob.
Yeah,
La Bamba Bob.
If you know what you're getting into, if you think it's gonna like change your life and be one of those, oh, it's gonna be a cult classic, it's gonna be so awesome.
No.
Don't do that.
No, it's too.
And don't watch it twice within like a month.
Yeah, even a month was too soon to watch this
Yeah,
movie.
sit
Far
down,
too
watch
soon.
it once, plan your day around it.
Maybe check your phone while you're watching it.
Yeah,
You know,
there's a lot of real long scenes where you don't need to pay
hit the
attention.
Wordle, hit the Quirtle.
Yeah, hit the Weaver,
Ooh.
hit the Waffle.
Ooh.
Yeah, throwing that out. That's my dailies. By the way, I got to do those or I'm going to lose my streak. So, Joe, that's fucking Freejack. What do we have up next?
Well, next, we're going back to a time long ago in a land far away, back when men were men
Manly men?
and they wore tights.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck. We just gave it away. See you next time on Video City.
Next time on Video City.
Can we all do the Tim Allen noise? Okay.
Oh, there you go. That's a good
Okay.
one.
Ba-dum-bum,
Beep, 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 beep.
ba-dum-bum.